To all those who hear, let us gather to witness the folds of time. Can you see the golden woods of Dawncast? Why does the first Hoth kingdom stand yet without a king? Do you recognize the glistening beaches of Holy Water? Why do the forgetters purge memories for pleasure when all they get is pain? Can't you hear the screaming siblings? A planet and a realm both abandoned and forgot. Know now my proclamation. These are your Savior's words. The God War has ended. Let there now be peace on Karth, or forever know my wrath.
One. Looks like
Nailed it.
We're
live on the internet. Yes.
Yeah.
Hep 5, episode 5.
We're really on fire.
Sweet.
Yeah, right.
This isn't what
40.
is up, everybody?
We're not on.
Nah, this is
Are you
5.
sure?
Nah.
Yeah, I'm really sure. Welcome, everybody, to Tragic Parties. This is where the intro goes.
Nice.
Please start every episode like that. This is where the intro.
This is where it is.
That's actually not bad. That's actually a better shtick than anything else I've come up with, so that's pretty good. Okay, we're gonna get back into it. I've got a big old intro for you. After escaping the circus area of Festmaster Noth with your new friend Blur, the tragic party themselves took to the tramways, a train within a train. Trainception, as Jax pointed out. As you walked the tunnels forward, you noticed a world covered in dust. Pale and gray. No clothes, no people, just empty hallways completely abandoned. Much like the Six Split districts, where Hep first entered into Track Majestic, flying up into the windows and seeing inside of them. The same sort of dust seems to permeate both areas. As a tram came screaming down the tunnel, covered by kitty widgets, the party hid as they churned along at breakneck speeds. After a near-miss encounter with them, the tram crashed somewhere in the distance. We cut to that as they... Though the party themselves aren't exactly sure what their fate was. Walking along the empty tunnel systems, the party noticed a golden tube high above. Tracking it with some fancy maneuvering by Heppen, you found yourself inside what seemed to be the grand prize and prize holding area for the circus area that you just left. 3 kitty widgets, all in 1930s New Yorker style newsboy clothing, were working the room. After dealing with 2 of them, one did escape, jumping into one of the floating portals that were held at the top of the room. But soon enough, you were face to face with loot. After taking some time to search, the party found some wondrous things. Legendary stones called Abandoned Stones, a Death Guard armor set, an incredible silk and spider-like cloak, a mysterious purple candle. The party now has the means, hopefully, to protect themselves against whatever is to come. As you walked forward, and as you searched the room, you talked, finally sharing some of your backstories. Where were you when you got transported to this train? Hep was in a prison. Dareem was on a battlefield. Van was in trouble, somehow 60 years ago, on the wasted world. Jax woke up here. As you identified your loot, you came upon Blur's hideout, and finally some answers. After showing you a vision of his creator, Illuminator Pressa's final moments, you had a chance to try and piece together what had happened on the train so far. It seems some sort of pirate crew named Cutthroat Universe, led by a Hythere, a fairy person who looks a lot like Heppen, named Adane, took this city train over. Still, there are questions left to be answered. Where are the people? Where is the crew? Where is the last known leader of the train, the mayor, Fuel Sanith? Soon enough, as you were sitting in Blur's little domed out or circular engine room, the ground rumbled beneath you and the train is speeding up. Then You tried some peanut butter. Van tried it to no effect. His Earthworld cloak somehow absorbing the effects of the wasted world food. It was then that Jax wanted to try some, but Hep gave Jax some pipers they had taken instead, and in a flash, after downing the piper, the smile vanished off of Jax's hand. One by one, everyone ate their fill and removed whatever markings leftovers were held from the circus area before. After trying some peanut butter, Hep found it was definitely still a good ride though, and it definitely worked, and got to see some energy of the world, just this trip thing that they experience all the time, as they giggled, and it was very cute. Eventually, after a short rest, everyone attuned to their new items. Looking into the Prince's Bane, Hep has this dagger that they stole from Knott's bedroom. Hep swore they saw a lady that looked a lot like Festmaster Knott's mother, staring at them for a moment in the jeweled hilt, and then gone. On top of that, Dareem attuned to the Orb of Scrying, which it turns out was Illuminator Pressa's all along. She was kind of a creeper, and she used to scry on whoever she wanted, or so says Blur. You decide to scry on the captain of Cutthroat Universe using Blur's descriptions and pictures to pass this test of sight. You get a vision. Another vision, I will note that you definitely got too, was Blur showed you the very first time Cutthroat Universe was on this train, when dressed as circus people, they were doing some sort of circus act for Fuel Sanith in some grand ballroom. And Fuel Sanith was like, "What is this filth? Get this trash out of here," as they were carted off to the dungeons. That was the first time. And then the last time was this vision of Pressa, who was like, "Blur, you gotta stay safe, stay in here, I'll lock you away." But then Cutthroat Universe came into the room and was like, "We got you, bitch." And that's all that Blur has really found out so far. Through the scrying orb and some unique and incredible works from Pressa, you put the orb into an old book that seems to be this mechanism for Blur to be able to actually show everybody the scry. You saw at the front of the train, a Dane, this pirate captain leader, watching over the world, the final crew member, a squid-headed man named Morwen, awaiting him down below. After a phone call from someone using this red glowing orb at Dane's side, hint, there's one red glowing orb person, it was probably Spark Hollander who called him, you hear a little conversation. Morwen's children have died, someone has killed them, Noth is nowhere to be seen, there are guests on the train, though these guests have disappeared. Using this moment, you pushed into Adane's surface thoughts, Dareem did, and his memories. Adane was excited at the prospect of intruders, whoever they may be. But beyond that, a secret rage filled him, churning at his stomach. Somewhere, long ago, an 8-year-old Dane grew up in the mud flats outside of a golden, shimmering city. Clutching at a blanket that looked awfully similar to his current pirate flag, Adane the child knew the world was not working the way that it should. As a voice screamed at him to come back inside to finish his chores, he knew his grandfather Talon would punish him for being late. Still, somehow, he would find a way to change the world. He had to. At this point, you are ejected from Adane's mind, as both he and Morwen are staring up into the scry, into the vision that you're all seeing, and Adane turns to Morwen and says, "You see that?" And Morwen just, their little squid face, "Yes, this is getting exciting." And that is where we pick up now.
Hi, friends.
Okay.
Wait, do we?
That Blur lunges forward to shut the book and just oh no, and he just shuts the book, and he it's in your hands still. You're still scrying, and he doesn't take it from you, but he shuts the book and it stops the scry altogether.
He was projecting that, right? So we all saw it. Okay,
basically through some engineering of Pressa, Blur, the book, energies, and his the hologram stuff he could do. Everyone was able to see everything from that scry.
Cool.
Okay.
Like watching it on a projector.
Cool.
Dope. They looked like friends.
Yeah.
You are now standing alone again in this room. You have now seen Adane.
Hello.
Adane has seen something.
Can I make some kind of check on what the Tentally guy was? I don't know if Jax knows what that is.
History check. That would definitely be...
It's a 27.
It's a what?
27.
I'm getting a 27.
I rolled a 19. I have a +8 to history. So
We expertise ass motherfucker. Yo, expertise looking ass. Okay. So, what you get is this is a Ronar that probably comes from one of the underground underwater cities. Specifically, let me pull up my map. They seem to hail from Full Depth over in Karth Free. Either Sea Dawn, Sea Torn, a lot of some of the more like underwater breathing type Ronars do exist over there.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jax is like, interesting.
What is it?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about the squid guy. And then I was like, what's squid? Squids don't exist in Karth. And then I was like, but what about the Wasted World? Squids exist there. And then my brain was just like going, pshoo, 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 pshoo. And then I was like, oh, he's probably a creature from Full Depth. And it was just like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know. I've never seen that before. And I was just thinking about it.
That's probably where they may have originated, like from the seas themselves, right? But, you know, people come from everywhere at this point in history.
Just learned something new. That's really cool. I like learning stuff.
Seems they know that we're here.
Yes, I think they do. I think it may be time for us to part our ways, and whatever mission you were brought here for, you must complete it. I'm sure it can help, especially if Hothram is somehow involved. I trust him. He is good shit.
But if they know we're here, then they may make preparations.
From the vision, it seems like they already are. He said something about Phase 4, whatever their mission on the train is. It probably does not involve us, so maybe we can still get off of here safely before they do anything more dangerous.
Right.
We can't quite get off of the train.
True, I have not thought about that. How do people get on or off of the train?
They just let a break in the sky come through, and a white light sucks you in and out, right?
I don't think that's how it always works, Jack.
What? Why wouldn't
I
it?
do not understand what you are
We
saying.
have to find what the artifact is leading us to, and I think Adane has it.
Yeah, let's go there, and then Sarah will let us back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Sarah.
Well, if they are making preparations and they know about us, maybe we should take them out one by one, essentially.
Take them. What do you mean take them out? Like,
Well, where's Noth right now? None of us know.
No one knows. Last that you saw Noth, you gave him peanut butter, and he was like, oh, and you wandered off.
I mean, you can find out, right?
I can find out, yes. But I'm thinking just in terms of how do we get up to him?
You're talking about
And
Noth,
if
the
Noth
circus person?
No, well,
Or
yes,
Adane?
I'm talking about where is Noth, but how do we get up to Adane and not have to worry about Noth and others that are in their party?
The truth is, I have only gone from my little hovel back to the circus area for the past 2 months. I do not know what lies ahead of you in this train. I do not think from what we saw earlier the tramways are working very well.
Does the tunnel lead us to the next area?
It should, as far as I know, it should lead up the entirety of the trainway.
All right, shall we go?
I think we should follow that way.
I am
Go
going
to the next area.
to head to find Hothram and hopefully meet y'all later. I don't know, do you have any idea where your special object is leading you?
nope.
I guess I'll listen to it or look at, I'll use the thing.
Basically, from the place that you came in, if the door that you came in is behind you. If you're standing in the middle of the room, in the circular room, the way that it's pointing is still forward. So if you were to go back into the tramway and just keep going the way, not the way you came, but like that is the direction it seems to be going, further into the train.
Yeah, it's telling us to go further in the train.
Well, be careful. I do not know what they are planning or why they wanted to take over this whole place in the first place. So whatever it is, what is that? He looks up,
God.
and on the ceiling, on the highest shelf, a red light blinks above you. And you hear a whirring noise as a and out from an air duct, a little kitty widget dressed in 1930s newsboy attire crawls into the room along the ceiling, points down at you, and just
Can I shoot my web at it?
You're casting web from your arachnid thing.
Cloak.
Yeah, cloak.
Yeah.
If that's what it does, then yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, it says at will. So
Fuck me then.
it literally says at will, and I'm attuned to it. So just Spider-Man that shit.
Oh, cool. I mean, if it does, then it does. You conjure a mass of thick, sticky webbing. The web fills a 20-foot cube from that point to the duration. So are you cubing up to the ceiling, basically? Because
Yeah, just right from where it is.
So the way that the spell works is you have to shoot
crap.
in a 20-foot cube, all right?
Okay.
Because you're shooting a 20-foot cube. That's what, if I looked up web correctly.
That is
So
what this does.
basically, you are not just like one-shotting it, you are super soaker blasting web at this fucking thing.
Yeah, totally.
Just like,
I am.
okay,
And
so
then clip joins in. Fuck it.
okay.
Never
Your
mind.
little
I don't think he's attuned to it.
No, for flavor, he jumps on your hand and then like holds the cloak open at the right part for it to just spray out all this web. The kitty widget rolled a 4, which is definitely a fail. I'm assuming it's restrained.
Each creature that starts to turn.
Each creature that starts to turn the web must make a dex save.
Yeah, restrained.
Okay, so
as
it
long
is
as it remains in the
restrained.
web until it breaks free. Creature restrained by the webs can use action to make a strength check against my spell
What have I
DC. If
given
it
you?
succeeds, it's not restrained. So against my spell DC, what the freak is?
Your spell DC is like a 14 or a 15.
Where do I see that?
It is your spell casting modifier, which is
Oh,
intelligence.
it's 15. I see it.
Intelligence.
Oh no, that's save DC.
8
Sorry.
plus intelligence plus proficiency. Is that right, Skylar?
What item is this? A cloak of arachnidia?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the DC is 13. It's
in the cloak, right?
yes.
Yes.
The web created by the spell fills twice its normal area, first off. Once used, this property of the cloak can't be used again until the next dawn, is what the item says. That I don't know why it says at will, but you do not have it at will. And also, it fills 40 feet. So what y'all see...
May have preemptively blown your load, my guy.
I've been doing my absolute best not to make that joke. You have a climbing speed. You can move up and down while leaving your hands free, which is wild. You can't be caught in any webs, and you can use an action to cast the web spell. The web created by this spell fills twice its normal area, which is 20-foot cube. So that makes it a 40-foot cube.
Yeah, 40
So
feet
is
cube
it
of
just the
web
whole
here.
room?
Or at least the ceiling? Crap.
The room to me is like 30 feet across, 30 feet up. So like in my head, yeah, the ceiling, like the top half of the room though is just
webbed up.
just full webbed,
Yeah.
and
Web
like
blast.
there's
Scary
a
movie
blanket,
style.
yeah, and like encrusted onto the ceiling out of nowhere. What y'all see is like immediately Dream just like puts his hands up and just what do you say? Do you say anything? Yeah, or you just like
Go web, go!
I guess I'll just say, I got it.
Yeah, and you just, and as I got it, the white silk lines within this black cloak swirl and coalesce on him as energy just turns into this web that shoots off of him in a 40-foot cube, blasting up into the ceiling onto this one little football-sized kitty widget as it just, and it is, for all, it's just stuck there, and it's like.
Can I fly to the kitty widget and stab it?
It is like, you have to go, to do that, you have to fly through the web.
Can I fly through the web?
Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or enters them must make a dex save. On a failed save, the creature is restrained. So you have to beat a DC 13 save to go into this web right now, if you want to.
Can it see through it?
You can all see through it. The kitty widget's up there and it's like, and
then reaches up to his ear and just pulls off some web.
yeah, there's a little
Just chucks it to the side.
everyone's got a little leftover web on them. Yeah, just like, oh God. And it's not fun. Web never feels good to be in. Dareem, though, can literally
fine,
walk
yeah.
through web as much as he wants with this cloak.
Oh, Dream, then you should take this dagger and go stab that thing so it doesn't see us anymore.
Okay, sure. I guess I'll
Walk on the walls through the web.
That is what
I don't
you
need
can.
I'll just go and punch it, I guess. Like, you know?
As you walk over to the wall and you just take a step onto it, thinking of your hoverboard, right? Like you're like, oh, this is gonna be like that. You just literally,
I just walk
you
right
lash
up it.
yourself to the. You go full storm. I'm
Nice.
just kidding. And you just start
No
walking.
way,
No, you
if,
just start literally walking up the wall as if it was the floor. The gravity in the room for you, as your consciousness shifts towards what you want, the cloak itself seems to shift something as you get to walk up this space as if nothing. It is at this point, from behind you, in the hallway that y'all entered in, the room starts to shake as a as the door opens from beyond the hallway. Oh, this is not good.
Is there a secret way out of here, yo?
Not that I know of.
Question.
Is the door oh never mind. Go on.
What about the web? Would that keep the door from opening?
That I was gonna say, is the door opening like inward or
So the web has been shot towards the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
The doorway is 10 feet through a hallway and not touched by any web whatsoever.
Okay.
great.
Currently, the door seems to be opening.
Okay.
Were y'all both asking a web question?
Yeah, pretty much.
I respect
yeah.
the hustle. You know what I mean? If you had another one to shoot, I mean, you could. At this point, a white floating down the hallway, a white orb with smooth metal and a red looking eye in the in the middle of it, glowing red, just drones its way as it floats into the room, and you hear,
Ah, my little adventurer buddies. Blur, you've been a bad boy. Why didn't
Does it see me on the ceiling?
it is just cresting into the door. It's coming down the hallway right now. We don't know exactly what it does see or doesn't see.
Okay.
You hear
cool.
you hear this voice, which you recognize, hopefully if I'm doing my job right, as?
Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky. Yeah, Sparky. Hollander. Yeah.
Highlander, yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if I was doing this right.
As the little orb comes around the corner in the middle of Hollander's conversation, like he's talking at us, Jax just goes, boom, and shoots a firebolt at it.
You're just gonna shoot it? Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. This is as much as he says.
Blur, you've been a bad boy. Why didn't you tell me the tick shard's blue? I thought that we...
An 18 to hit.
That does hit.
6 fire damage.
Can I, like, as soon as it comes in, and,
Y'all don't even let me vamp at all? You're just gonna
can I
kill
just,
it?
like, start to fly over?
You sons of bitches.
And, like,
Yeah. If you want to fly over,
I want to fly over and, like, as soon as my time is right, I just want to stab it with the Prince's Bane.
Okay. So basically, as it's going into the room, you hear, "Why didn't you tell?" I wrote this, so I'm gonna say as much as I want before it gets blasted. Okay, I'll do the whole thing. All right, but why don't you tell me the take shard blew? I thought we trusted each other. You're not still sore about Pressa, right? Oh God! And right as happen, you dash forward. Go ahead and make an attack roll with the Princess Bane. While you do this, as you grab it to attack, go ahead and roll me a D4.
Oh shit! It's 10 plus?
Before we do this, go ahead and roll me a D4.
Okay.
Yeah, little baby D4.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. Okay. As you grab the dagger, you hear a boom, 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 and you feel yourself filled with this, like, just at the edges of your vision, just this purple energy, and you race forward and you stab. So 10 plus?
Hit. So it's my hit DC, right?
Plus 7,
yeah,
right?
7.
Because it's a plus 1. 17. A 17 also hits. So 6 points of fire damage come out of nowhere as Jax just cocks his arm and does the Dareem, blasting it, and then the stab damage.
And then 7 damage.
7.
You would apply sneak attack to this.
You son of a bitch. I want to bet him so bad.
You won. Double
Are you
damage?
2d6?
So it's I rolled 2 2s.
So another
it's a
4?
D4 plus 5. So
12, 7, 6, plus 5?
yeah, so 14. 14 total.
Oh, you got 14 total? All right, fine. So fine. Out of nowhere, just deftly, just in the back, there's this one little metal groove that seems to be right, and like in the I guess this robot has a little back butt now, and you just like skewer it as the dagger crashes through, crashing the glass in the front, and you hear, "Hey, wait!"
I'm just I'm still on the ceiling, just like looking.
And that little kitty widget is just like.
Oh, I punched the kitty widget.
Okay,
Also.
I'm gonna say you just go up there and you and you just blast it as much as you want.
All right, cool.
As you just gatling that thing down until it is dead. Is at this point you hear, Stop doing that, okay? What the hell? As another orb flies around the corner. As it comes down the hallway.
DM privilege.
This orb comes in, DM privilege, you like this shit? I'm gonna fucking say what I want to say. This other orb comes around the corner. Stop, these are really expensive. Can you please stop it? As Jax just fires at
And
it.
I'm gonna pull out my shadow sword of shielding and stab it with that one this time.
Yeah, y'all just black.
It's only a 12 to hit this time.
I'm gonna say, just because I like the flavor, that again, y'all have already kind of figured out this. Y'all just wreck that thing as it just falls into the
I
ground.
rolled a 16, so good.
So y'all both just
Still
skewered
just
that
up there,
one.
like-
And at this point, as it just, please, I just want it, and it falls crashing to the ground, you hear this whirring around you as the unworking speaker systems that seem to be in this room, they all just listen, okay? I'm
They're not covered by the web.
They're covered by the web, but that doesn't seem to affect
But they're
the
overpowering.
actual
Okay,
electrical versions of this. Okay, listen, right? This is bullshit. And like, I don't understand. This is not how it's supposed to work. Did the light not do anything? I can't see what's happening in your stupid little room. Did you not get any smiles? What is happening right now? Listen, all of you, okay?
Where's this
Puts a hand towards him.
Yeah.
Hold on, Jax.
Blast as much as you want.
I hold.
I mean, you can
I
still do
like
it.
there's energy coalescing in his palm, but he hasn't shot it out yet. He's holding.
Guys, maybe we should leave right now. He can't see us.
So he keeps talking as y'all just leave the room.
Can I leave like a little just like a little thing that like leaves a message to him?
You want to write a message?
Like no, like can I could have swore that I could leave.
What are your spells?
I know what he's talking about.
I don't think that's a spell thing. I think it's like a trait thing.
It's a artificer thing.
Oh, what is it?
It allows you. You can basically to use this ability. You got to have artisan's tools. I think you got that. You can take a non-magical object and give it one of the following magical properties: sheds dim light. Sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius. Whenever tapped by a creature, it emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away.
It's only whenever it's attacked, huh?
Or tapped, like touched.
Oh, tapped.
No, you can just leave it, and it looks like you could just get to do this.
You can also make it emit an odor of your choice or a nonverbal sound. You can literally leave.
Please just leave him a fart. Please just leave him a fart.
Hep, do you want? Would you like to do the honors?
Wait, give me my fart?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! But like, hold on, I gotta have a popper first.
And lastly, you can also make a picture with up to 25 words of text.
What have you done to my beautiful world? You're farting on things just make smells at the back end. And you're not letting him talk at all.
Oh my gosh.
You do that.
I'm gonna.
Please tell me how you fart for a smell to leave for Hollander to
I
find.
mainly just want the sound of it.
You just want like a.
You can leave
I
the
just want the
smell,
sound
though.
of it. Well, I don't think he's gonna come in here, but I mean, this is Blur's room.
Yeah, but
This whole time in the background, you just like, if anyone was listening, okay, what you would have heard, and I'm not stopping y'all whatsoever. What he would be saying. Listen, I can't see you right now, so I don't even know if you're still there. But like, honestly, I just wanted to say that y'all being on this train, like, you kind of already fucked up. Thanks for leaving the door open on your little friend with the pipers. Someone even left a note or something. I had no idea that little guy had been hiding back there this whole time. Either way, the kitty widgets, which I guess you just killed another one. His name was Gary. Apparently thinks you murdered his siblings. News to me that they even have siblings. I'm just gonna keep talking because I don't know. I can't see anything.
Hep, fart into this.
Yeah, and as this is happening, like, if anyone was listening to him talk as y'all decided to fart stuff.
Hep just gathers a good one. Like, I've had a good amount of peanut butter today.
You got a lot of peanut butter. You got pipers going in you.
Like,
Yeah. You're with your
people.
new people. You definitely had to go. It's been a couple hours. You never really took a bathroom break. You know, so like, yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of leave that right near the speaker. I don't know if he can hear it or us.
Okay.
But yeah,
there is this.
And we
is it a
bounce out
sound
of
or
here.
a smell?
It is a sound.
There is a. What fart sound? Why do I have to do
Yeah,
this?
I'm gonna say,
what fart
would you like
sound
to?
do you leave just playing on repeat in this room?
in this
And
room?
before you do it, I say, give a good one.
Give a good one? Okay,
Yeah, but
made a
give
fart
him a good
noise in a
one.
really long time. Just like, I'm trying to also think. I am like a fairy, so like, what's like?
What's a 4 foot or a 3'8" like fart body sound?
Is it like? But I feel like it'd be more comical if my like 4 foot fairy just let like the biggest fucking fart rip.
Hey, you know, farts don't ever discriminate.
Blur just wide-eyed looks at you. Are you dying? Do you need assistance?
I've been holding that one in all day, guys.
For the flavor of it, I created like this little thing in my hand, and I literally put it like next to his butt.
Literally, you took like this little ball of metal that you're infusing the sound into, the sound waves, like its sides opened up, and then they started flapping, like there's like these little wires in them as they caught the sound, as this just monstrous bowel movement rip. I'm not convinced. Roll for shitting yourself, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a constitution check. Just one quick constitution check, please.
Wait, is it the higher? Is it the higher I don't shit myself or I do?
Higher would be you do not shit yourself. Low would be we'll see.
What is it? A Constitution?
Yeah. Constitution saving throw. I'll be even nicer.
I got 15.
Oh my God.
15? I'm just wouldn't be shocked if this is something Heppen knows how to do, just in general. And whether it's a prank on your pirate days, like you were just fucking with Gliss back in the day, whatever it was, you're pretty confident that you didn't leave any streaks or marks and you're fine.
So right after it is done, I just chuck it right at the speaker then.
Okay, yeah. You chuck it at the speaker and it sticks up in the webs and it's just this... just literally the whole thing on repeat, over and over.
Wait, isn't
and
it
over.
only if he touches it though?
He has already turned it on before he threw it, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Dareem turns
Yeah,
the sound
eventually.
on,
Okay.
throws it up there. So it's just going until he decides it to end.
Yeah.
Man, that is funny.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we bounce out of here after that.
Van looks fucking mortified. Like all of the color has left from his fur. You see him
smell
holding
that
his
shit,
paw
dude. Van,
over his face.
Go ahead and make
He
me a
looks like he's
perception
about to
check
vomit.
with advantage.
He genuinely is like about to fucking puke.
Kind of like low-key in the sidelines. Can I give Dream that yellow stone?
You already have. You actually
Oh, what
already
is it?
gave him.
Yeah, you,
You
did give
gave
me
it to him
I don't think
earlier to
I-
identify. But in the identify
don't
train
think I
and the talking
identified it
everything,
yet.
you have not taken time to do that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You asked me to roll perception, right?
Yeah, with advantage on what you smell.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's cool because I rolled a 1 on that first one and I kind of wish I kept it.
Well, roll another one.
14 total.
Oh yeah, you smell that shit.
Yeah.
Smells
Yeah.
like what happens in a body after they eat a bunch of sugar, carbs.
Can I turn off my smelling?
Yes, Dareem can. A metal cover just over Dareem's nose before he holds out the stone.
You just hear a muffled good luck blur as Van leaves the room.
Basking in the ambience. Basking in the... What the fuck is that from?
Hep is dancing in the middle of the room, just like arms waving, basking in the radiance. Woo! See what I've created.
Oh God. All right. I guess I'll leave also.
As y'all,
I'll tell Blur.
Yeah.
Blur is. Crap. What was the dude's name in the beginning again?
are we talking about Spark or Hawthorne?
Hawthorne.
The man who gave us the
HAWTHRUM.
As I'm running out, I'll tell Blur. Is there any way you can check on Hawthorne?
I was trying to listen to his message. It seems he has him, is what he just said. Did you hear that?
I briefly heard it. Yes.
I will go find him,
Like,
and I
slightly
will
heard
save
it.
him. Y'all go forward. Things are going to progress really quickly from this point on, I think. You have now made, I think, Hollander kind of angry. Mm-hmm. Especially, and he just looks up at the message, especially when he checks that out.
Let us know if there's any developments or just any updates.
I will. If you keep your communication devices on you when I come into the correct distance, you will hear me in your head. We will get
All
off
right.
this train together. I can feel it. I have hope for the first time.
We won't leave you.
I appreciate it.
At that point, I'd hop on my hoverboard and I'd like zoom
wait,
up out of there.
Dareem, come here. Dareem, come here.
Yes.
Blur, come here. Hands in.
Yeah.
Hands in. all right?
Okay.
All right? Hands in. Okay, ready? On 3, robot boys. All right? Ready?
you were gonna say that.
1, 2, 3. Robot boys.
Robot
Robot
boys.
I'm gonna
boys.
cast aid on all 3 of us. And so what that spelled it.
What does that do?
So for the next 8 hours, our hit point maximum increases by 5.
Sweet.
So we have 5 more hit points.
Okay.
I'm gonna go fly over to Van and like grab his ear and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, friends.
What? You're doing this to a van who is currently dry heaving over the tram tracks. Just
y'all all walked out of the
back
room.
in the tram?
You've all walked out of the room at this point. Like you've all like walked back into the tramway, I would assume.
And so as aid goes off, there's like a white light or a white aura that shimmers around the 3 of us, and essentially Jack's just like, be safe. I don't want my one of my first friends getting hurt. Be safe out there.
I will do my best. Same goes to you, little one. You are special. You all are. Remember that. And y'all will make your way into the tramway. Heppen is holding on to Van's ear as he just into his mask. Have you taken the mask off, or are you just sitting in that smell?
no, the mask is on, but it's a halfer. Right. Mouth is still very open to Hep's smells.
I'll go to Van.
Very exposed.
Van, are you all right?
Yes,
Do you
I
want a
will
popper?
be
You
fine.
like Piper? Do you want a Piper?
You keep saying popper, and I'm like, the conversation we had in our pre-call about what I thought poppers were, aka a thing you stick in your butt and then sniff after to accentuate anal sex, which is not true, at least on the
Is
first
that
half.
canon on cars?
It is now. It is now canon on car. Poppers are things that creatures stick in their butt so that they can accentuate
God.
anal sexual
Oh, Lord.
sparkings.
Where have we gone?
That's some
You
Karth
know?
Wild
Yeah,
shit.
dude,
right
that is
there,
Karth
bro.
Wild. Yeah, that is Karth Wild. That ain't no Karth proper shit, okay? Look, you know people in Tombstock don't get down like that. You know, like if you in Silver Beach, you ain't getting down. But if you up in Peace Forth, you be getting down like that for sure. Okay?
I'll take
Those
out a
fucking Don
Piper
Caspi.
and I'll put it under Van's nose.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Kind of waving Hep off. Van spits just the last disgusting loogie onto the tram.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Blur will turn, get to a runner stance, and look back at y'all. Be careful. We will meet up soon. And as he dashes off down the hallway, he gets about 5 feet. He gets about 5 feet, 10 feet, and out of nowhere, a metal arm extends, shooting forward, and catches him right on the shoulder. As from above, on the ceiling, about 20 feet up, walking on the ceiling, this robot with no head, looking kind of like Hitmonlee, if anything, with these sinewy, long metal arms that seem to fold over and contract and constrict. One of the arms has shot out and grabbed Blur from running. I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Dope.
Dope.
Blur has 5 more hit points.
Nat
Don't forget.
20.
Yup.
I love
Nat 20.
Nat
That's a 21 then.
Heppen.
10.
Roll me a d4.
And that's a temporary 5 hit points.
It's not temporary hit points. For the next 8 hours, your hit point maximum is increased by 5.
I got a 1.
You got a 1.
Yeah. Am I screwed?
You are not screwed. You are out in the tunnels in a tram track. You are all out in front of Blur's room. You have 20 feet roughly side to side, and then for hundreds of feet either way behind you, right? So where are you all so Van and Heppen were roughly by the actual tramway, by the railway, right before like where the train would cross. Dareem and Jax are near the door. Blur has gone 10 feet south, right? And 20 feet up, you now see there are 3 of these metal robots all 10 feet across. One is on the ceiling, standing there, his feet spiked into it. One is on the wall, and then another one is another 10 feet down from him. So you have these 3 creatures, all with a glowing red orb in the center of their body. So give me totals.
21 for me.
10 total.
10.
Ready for this? 8.
8. Who has a higher dex, Van or Heppen? I actually don't know this.
My dex is 18.
My dex is 18.
Both roll d20s. Who gets higher? Unless y'all just want to choose who
I
goes
got
first.
5.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, then Heppen's going before Van.
Dang, that was down to the nitty.
I was down to the nitty.
I rolled 2 1s already today, and hopefully that's all my bad luck at
It
once.
is. Manifest it.
How we're gonna do this? We're going into the battle. The battle has begun. These 3 robot creatures. Sorry, my headphones cut out. These 3 robot creatures, one with his arms extended 10 feet down, has grabbed onto Blur. It is at this point that Dareem, you are first. Yeah. The robot has collapsed down, and you see this electricity spark just wave from his arm onto Blur as Blur from the side, seemingly taking some damage.
Yeah, I am gonna make a force ballista cannon, and I'm gonna make it with the ability to walk.
Yes.
So I'll put that down in front of me. I'll create that right in front of me, and as it is created, when it's done, I command it to shoot the one that is attacking.
As a part of the same
Blur.
bonus action, you can direct the cannon to walk or climb 15 feet to an unoccupied space, provided it has legs. So you create another little spider tank. What does this look like when you make it?
So what does it look like when I make it, or what does it look like made?
Both. Yes.
Okay, cool. To make it, my chest opens out and I start
a platform just falls down from his chest, like you've seen before, as his workbench.
And I mean, it's like a whole workbench, and I just start taking tools from that, putting on the legs, where it's it's got 3 legs, so that it can be mounted and stuff, or so it can mount itself down. And the top part of it sort of looks like a crossbow, but a little bit. It looks a bit different, I guess, than a crossbow. No, let's just say it has a crossbow type feel. So when it shoots, it pushes people back.
Which
that's what the force ballista does. So I just picture
what color?
Oh wow, that's a good
what
question.
kind of metal?
I guess oh, okay. It can be smooth, stock black metal.
So this,
you know?
So deftly out of nowhere, his fingers turn into tools as he just, and within seconds, this little, about the size of a basketball, I'm assuming, this 3-legged, and on top of it, it has a bow shape almost like a crossbow, though everything is this black finished matte metal, and there seems to be a cannon sticking out the front that runs down congruently to the, or perpendicular, through the bow shape that runs on top of it. That this little thing just, and it jumps onto the ground and it skitters 15 feet up the wall, wherever you want it to go, honestly.
I guess how far away is Blur from the stuff? From me, I guess?
10. It would be 20 feet up the wall, because its reach is only
up
10
the
feet.
Wall.
Yeah. And 10 feet away from you. So roughly, what is that, 20 feet? I think that's how that works. But you could shoot up to 120 feet, so it's not like it matters.
Yeah, it'll stay just right in front of me.
Make an attack roll with your force ballista.
15?
A 15. As this thing charges up, you see the black metal that looks like the string part of the bow, it heats up in energy, coalesces into the middle, pulls back, and then shoots forward through the front of the cannon as it just shoots and barely glances off, missing this creature. This creature is filled with white, is just this off-white metal flowing over itself, and your attack seemed to find no purchase on it.
I guess that's all I can do then.
At this point, it is so 20 feet up or 10 feet up and away on the wall, holding on to Blur, is that robot. The furthest one from you drops from the ceiling onto the ground, and it is, let's call it 40 feet away, 50 feet away. I'll say it's 40 feet away from Blur, 50 feet away from y'all since you're 10 feet back from him. As it just runs forward and looking around, it's this like red line scans left and right on the orbit its chest as it turns towards Blur and fires both arms at Blur.
Oh man.
As this metal arm shoots forward, Blur, even standing there, claps down from the left. He just he dodges to the dodges off, and the arm goes flying. A second arm shoots forward, and it also freaking misses because I roll 3s apparently. As Blur just y'all see go, swoop, swoop, full matrix, both attacks missing. Well, fuck, I want to kill Blur. Happen, it's your turn.
Your shitty rolls are way more fun as a DM than a player.
Isn't that true? Isn't that just so true? Because Emmett used to miss 24/7, but like DM Sam makes these really hard combats and he can't roll shit. So, Happen, go for it.
Oh, I'm gonna go stabby stab.
You go stabby stab. You go forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna go forward and stabby stab. I'm gonna stab with the short of shielding.
So, what happens on your D4? As the battle rages in your head, the bump da bump da bump da ba ba dum bump plays in your ears. This familiar tune that feels more familiar than just hearing it in that little circus area. It's a tune that you've known from birth, as your birthright, as you hold this dagger in your hand, and you see, for but a brief moment, you see standing against the steel veil that is the circus throne room, your mother, specifically Noth's mother.
Okay.
Not yours, but in your head, the feeling is my mother, even though you're like, but that's not my mother, stands there and just stares at you, her just hurtful, she has this stern look of utter disappointment in you, that you will never be strong enough to take what is supposed to be yours. And you feel this weight of that pressure on you. As you stab forward, you have effectively cast the Bane spell on yourself, which means you get a D4 against attack saving throws and attack rolls that you make for this combat.
For this what?
For this combat.
The whole combat. -4?
As long as, well, actually, let me look up how long Bane lasts.
A minute.
Crap.
For 1 minute, so 6 rounds.
10 rounds.
10 rounds. 10 rounds of 6 seconds.
Dope.
As you attack with the short sword, this does still happen.
Okay, 6. I got an 11. -4 plus.
Roll. So what Bane is? You roll a D4.
Oh.
And you minus that.
-2. 15 total.
A 15, much like Dareem's, just misses.
Just miss.
So that is your attack goes in, and you feel this energy, this weight, this pressure of your mom looking down and being like, God, you're never gonna live up to these expectations, are you? If you're gonna, you gotta fight through this shit. You know what it is to be strong. You just never feeling anything like this before. Well, actually, it sounds pretty familiar to you as you just glance off and you barely miss the swing. You do. I think you can attack with the dagger technically now for your bonus action with your other hand, if you wanted to.
Okay.
Because the short sword. Because of the simple property of it,
light.
You can attack with the light property of it. You can now attack with another light weapon.
Dope. Stabby stab with the dagger. Oh, a 19 plus a 7.
Minus a D4 wouldn't even matter. It's gonna hit regardless.
Or was it 3?
So this time feeling and this time feeling it, you are expecting it to come, and motherfucker, you ain't no stranger to pressure of some king mom who's all like, you're never gonna live up to my expectations. That's been your MO since day one. And you just shrug it off and just stab straight into this thing. I'm assuming are you fighting the one that's fighting Blur off to the left that's on the wall? I just kind of picked one, right? The original one. So that one is alone with no one else around it, but because you are a swashbuckler, you still get sneak attack.
7, 8, 9.
9 damage. You strike straight into the orb and you crack it as you strike into it, and it recoils for a second, still standing on the wall. Next up, Van.
Okay. So the closest thing is 20 feet, right? Ish? Or am I wrong?
Everything's closed for you. I forgot about you.
That's true.
I forgot about you. There is one 10 feet up on the wall to the left.
Is that the one fighting Blur?
That one is fighting Blur, but there's another one 10 feet beyond Blur on the floor that is also fighting Blur that missed with both of its arm attacks.
Gotcha. When you say it's on the wall.
Shit, dude, you're 7 feet
tall. Are you saying like on the side or above?
It's on the
side.
It's on the side wall. Yeah.
Then collects himself for a second, kind of taking in those seconds of combat that just happened. He is a little visibly disoriented still from the fart smell.
What?
Clearly.
I forgot about that already.
But he, seeing Blur get snatched, he kind of perks up a little bit. His ears, perk up. And he's going to, in an instant, run on over to the bot that Hep just stabbed at, and he's going to attempt to kick that dagger deeper into the robot. Like right after Hep stabbed it, I want to be there quick enough to try and kick that dagger.
Is 10 feet up a wall adjacent to a 6'2", 6'5" creature? Yes. Right?
Yes.
That would count, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you could do that. You do that.
For also flavor, because difficult terrain don't mean shit to me. Like somewhere along the line, he takes to the wall a little bit. Like he runs fast enough,
and you're doing the monk stuff. You literally
to run on the
for
wall.
no reason other than to just flourish. Van just dashes to the wall, not as an action or anything, but he literally dashes to the wall, running up the side of it, spinning at the end to bring his heel down upon the dagger that Heppen has already made. Also, Heppen, I didn't even ask, you totally could have moved and left that space if you wanted to, and that's on me.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, I love Heppen. And you do that, make an attack roll.
That's a nat 20.
Passed it on! Yes!
Roll your damahe.
7, 6 plus 7, 13.
Yeah, as your heel comes crashing down, it out of nowhere on the dagger just goes like out of Hep's hand in this moment and just gets shoved straight into the creature as it and its arm fall limp as its feet unlatch from the wall and it crashes to the ground dead. And Hep, you can get your dagger back without worry. You just pull it back right before, and it is
I'll
gone.
hand it to Hep.
Yeah,
I'll pull it out.
Okay, and plucking it out, Van just, this is yours.
Can I really quick grab his ear and go, 1, 2, 3, friends?
You do that. You do that. You definitely do that. The other robot, which was on the ceiling 20 feet up that way, is going to detach from the wall and come down. It drops 20 feet, landing on the ground, and is going to walk another 10 feet forward to put itself 10 feet from y'all, and it is going to lash out with one arm right at Heppen. An arm comes flying out at you. Does a 12 hit? Fuck! Come on! It happens too light. They just swoop, give them the body roll. You know what I'm saying? As the arm just whizzes past. A second one whizzes at Van. Does a natural 1 hit you?
Yeah, surprisingly, no, it does not.
It's these dice. It's these damn metal dice. It's the Emmett dice. They hate them. I will go to the new Emmett dice. Okay, well, both of those miss.
So unsatisfied.
Actually, wait, I'm reading this.
Oh,
Sam's reading.
I'm reading.
OP.
In anger, as it stands there, you see the red energy as it surges forward, both of its arms retracting in a second to shoot out again, one at Heppen, because it apparently can do this. Fuck, it's a 7 again. Does a 12 hit?
No.
And it just misses. And then the other one at Van. Come on!
Oh, no.
Does a 9 hit?
No.
oh, it does not.
It
does not.
It burned its one action aberrant quickness thing it gets, and it just and it misses. And its arms come back, and it's 10 feet away, and it's Jax's turn.
At least we know Sam doesn't lie about his DM rolls.
I wish I would
Yeah,
get
right?
stupid ass thing. Like, are you kidding? Like,
So is the one that attacked Blur dead? Has it been destroyed, or is it still
one
up?
of them is destroyed, and the two on the ground are still up.
Oh, there are two on the
technically-
ground.
Yeah,
Okay.
technically 2 have attacked Blur. The one that was latched to the wall is dead.
Jax just puts his arm out, you know, and just fires a firebolt from a safe distance away. Specifically
Firebolt.
at any of them that are like attacking Blur, like within attack range of him. The closest one, just for your brain. That is a 16 to hit.
16 hits?
8 fire damage.
Okay, as you blast into it.
Seeing the dire nature of the situation as Blur has been attacked already, you kind of see the eye, the eye that kind of seamlessly shut starts to open a little bit, you know, barely.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the pupil on Jax's forehead, and you kind of see like some. I don't know how the best way to describe this, but like there's some kind of energy flowing. You can see like underneath Jax's skin changing as I'm gonna use a bonus action to convert a spell slot into sorcerer points.
Okay, as this happens, much like watching Jax eat food, as the energy coalesces off of him and steam and wispy spiritual energy just into the air, into nothing, his eye just slits open in a moment, and with a little flash, his skin underneath just kind of like in The Mummy, where the things get under the skin and crawl, right? But like cool and clockworky, like it's like under his skin as he does something inside of himself.
I'll move like 15 feet back away from
Cool.
these things.
You move back and away. At this point, Blur stands up. I will take them. Hand out to a rapier. He dashes forward to the robot in front of him, and he gets to do all of his stuff. So he does. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! Now it's a 19.
Mess
This is
him up.
bullshit.
Mess him up.
This is
Get him.
collusion. I need a camera on this. This is bullshit. The first one, the first rapier hits. Second attack is a 2. All right, that makes more sense. And then his other hand whips out into a dagger. That attack is a 4. Okay, cool. So we, on average, are still samming. The 19 stabs forward at the one in front of him, doing 10 points of piercing damage.
God damn.
This is the one that Jax just shot. So as it's burning on fire, it just stabs right through the orb, pin pricking right through it as it shatters in a moment as the robot falls down.
Nice.
It is back to the top to Dareem. There's one more standing there.
I guess I'll go ahead and just use Firebolt at
Do
it, and Clip will also follow me in doing that.
I think your cannon does more damage. So if you do it and your cannon is 2d8, which is more than Fireball, right?
Well, yeah. Because
you can.
Fireball is 1d10. So yeah,
action, Firebolt, and then Cannon Blast.
And then Cannon Blast. Okay, yeah. So then for Firebolt.
Spell attack roll.
17.
17 do hit that true, that right?
Yep. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
So then I'm gonna go ahead and smack it with a 9 of fire.
Okay, fire blasts into it, scorching off its sweet white metal body. I don't know why I said it that way, but that is what happens.
That's what it is.
Plastic covering on the front just off of it. It takes that damage.
And then I'll go ahead and roll the hit for the cannon. That's gonna be a 15.
15, much like last time, just barely glances off.
It just misses it. All
hitting.
right.
Kipin, it is your turn.
My turn?
Yeah.
Which ones are around me?
There is one 10 feet in front of you that has just gotten blasted. It is alone, its friends are dead, and it is one red energy vision tier goes down its body, just drips, looks like it drips as it disappears, as it looks around at its dead compatriots.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry at the same time because you started it. And as I say that, I'm gonna stab it with the shadow short sword of shielding.
Make an attack roll.
10 minus 2, so 8.
Yeah, that one misses. You do have an extra attack if you make that offhand attack if you want to. You would still get sneak attack because of your
stabby
rockish
with the Prince's Bane. That's an 11 plus a 7 minus 2 is 15, which
15
just misses.
barely misses.
That's a 16.
That's a 16.
Wait.
11
plus 7. Yeah.
18.
18.
Minus 2.
Minus
16.
2.
16.
16, let's go!
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Hit, that is literally
plus a D4. Yo,
I
this
get
Prince's
it. It
Bane
is 15.
gave me Bane. But really working out.
Yeah. Dude, that plus 7 ain't no fucking joke.
No,
like
it
that's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
more than enough. How would you like to slay this creature?
I just go over and I'm sorry because you look sad, but you started it, and then I stab it in the eyeball.
As you crash through the orb, the feeling, a weird feeling, coalesces at the purple in your vision. And someone you can tell was oddly proud of whatever just happened. You feel it. As you stab through, it crashes, the robot collapsing to the ground. Crashing. Blur stands up, the combat over. Happen, you feel this pressure to succeed wash off of you. Y'all are standing alone in the tunnel.
I'll ask Blur if he recognizes. Do you recognize these machines?
I do not. I'm assuming they are some creations from Hollander. He may be sending more, but it seems as we have currently destroyed the eyes that he has. So we may be good. I think it is still good to go on our paths the way that we had set out.
Are you okay, Blur?
Well,
Yes, I will be fine. Sparks fly from the one section, but overall he does seem fine. I can heal myself up pretty quickly back in my room, and then I will head out.
all right.
Well.
Alright, let's not waste time.
Oh, okay. Do we have a minute?
What is it, little
Do we
one?
have a minute?
I could have one total minute, I guess.
I'm gonna walk over to him and cast Mending on him.
Nice. Yeah, and you watch as Jax just
It takes a minute
puts
to
a
cast.
hand up to his shoulder. The red crystal, like the orb set into his hand, glows, and as the energy coalesces over where Blur was attacked, the metal just, it's like bits and particles from the air coalesce out of nowhere to fit their way back into the groove to mend it back together.
Do you want me to roll like hit points for this or
it's
something like that? Okay. Yeah.
And thank you. I appreciate that, little one. Be safe, y'all. Let me try this again. And he's going to turn into a runner stance. Look around. Any more fuckers? Okay, goodbye. And he starts dashing off down the hallway the way that you came. Hopefully to find his long-lost friend. What are y'all doing?
Following the
walk
sound of the artifact.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Jax up. I'm gonna actually pick Jax up if he allows
Yeah.
it.
This is like, whoa, okay.
Are you princess carrying him?
Piggyback.
Oh, cool.
Are you shouldering him? Uncle style or piggyback?
Piggyback.
Okay.
Arms around.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just like,
All right, we need to move quickly.
Oh, cool.
Jax, hold on.
okay.
And I'm going
As
to.
it happens, I'm gonna go sit on Jax's shoulders.
Okay.
I'm looking at what's about to happen here, and I guess I just kind of get on my hoverboard. I kind of make it because it's for the most part like on my
to your feet.
Yeah,
you know, like it clamps. Y'all watch as
Okay.
he jumps on. Metal clamps go up to his ankles as he is on it. Jax is on Van's back. I can't believe y'all are doing this right now. Hepin has flown and grabbed onto Jax's head and shoulders, right? Like you are piggybacking on the piggyback. And Dareem, on his hoverboard, kind of flies over to Van and...
Yeah, I guess I don't really know how to hang on to them.
Y'all have... He has cloak, you have...
I do have a cloak,
You have ropes
I'll,
because you're all adventurers with adventurer packs. You should have
Oh,
a
well
rope.
then I'll just tie a rope like on my hand.
Yeah, you rope it up.
I'll rope it like on my hand and then attach that rope.
How about you just hand
I
it to
will,
Van?
I will take the rope.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will
cool.
take the rope in my
I just
hand.
Underarms the rope.
Fine.
and I'm just gonna be pulled like.
And I'm gonna start running.
Oh my
Whatever that means.
So Hepin is 120 pounds with everything,
Okay.
right? Like Hepin's light.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's got they got a sword, you know, but like
I assume
some
I
armor.
can run normally with
So,
those two on my back.
Here's the thing. Do you know the other thing about beast people? The other thing?
I can carry much larger than myself.
You count as a one larger creature when you carry stuff, which I think means you just get to carry up to 500 pounds, no problem. Is that how we sussed that out last time?
I'm pretty sure so normally it's like 10. It's I could look up the rules, but it's
You just give me a number and I'll work within that
I
number.
just want to make sure
baby.
it's the actual D&D rules for sure.
Yeah, you count as one size larger with powerful build.
So it's your strength times your strength score by 15 determine it for a large creature or a medium creature, but I'm pretty sure for large it's double that, so it's 30 times your strength score for what you can carry without being impeded.
So how many pounds?
Yes.
30 times my strength score.
What's your strength score?
12.
So 12 times 30 is like 360.
360?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll look at this
360.
quick math.
Jax is about, I mean, how tall are you?
Like 4'11.
And you're plastic?
Yeah.
This is bullshit. The synthetic material that Jax is, I cannot remember if I said he was super heavy. Did I ever say that?
I would say he would be no heavier, no lighter than a 12-year-old kid, you know?
That's canon. Then he is
I have 115,
80
like
pounds.
180 pounds? Sure, I don't know.
how Malachi
Probably
and
around 100 pounds. 100 100 to
Dude,
Okay, no,
130.
me
That was like
now-
60 pounds.
Me now,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
only 110.
Really?
I'm
no.
yeah.
My nephew who's 10
He's like
ain't
maybe
no
60
100
pounds. Like
Yeah.
less 60,
shit, I don't
maybe 70
We'll call
pounds.
it with some adventuring gear. I'm gonna call it 80.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, especially with Dareem,
I can carry these
yeah,
motherfuckers.
both of them easily, and with Dareem being pulled behind,
Yeah.
like that extra weight of force, you're not pulling Dareem's full body. He's on a fucking hoverboard.
I'm on a hoverboard.
because he just
So-
gets
and
to make
just
that.
because just for the flavor here, as he's running when we get there, you know, I'm not just in a straight line here. Like
you're
I'm like, you know,
wakeboarding. yeah, you're wakeboarding behind him.
I've got a good like amount of rope that's like holding
In
me
fact,
out here. You know,
you
Like-
have the rope tied to your arm, and you let slack so you could do more stuff in the background. So you could like go up the wall a little.
For carrying, he
Weird.
can carry his strength times 30. For lifting, dragging, and pushing, it's his strength times 60.
Wait, so you're telling me I could be riding on the hoverboard with Key?
Yes. Yes, you could.
Easier than riding
Easily.
on his back?
For sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can I like do
Okay, all right, you haven't taken off yet. So,
Yeah.
so you
But real
see,
quick,
Hep
before you
sees
flavor this,
Dareem.
before you flavor this, give me those numbers one more time, just so I have them forever.
So for carrying capacity, what you can lift
360 pounds.
is 360. For
We'll
or
call
I
it
guess
pounds.
I guess this is more of what you can push, drag, and lift is 30 times your strength score, which would be 60 times your strength score. And so I'm guessing that lift is like to not carry it necessarily, but to like pick it up.
Oh,
move-
pick it up.
Pick it
Oh
up.
my
kind of thing.
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So picking stuff up, I can do double what I can carry.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Am I picking that up
Yes.
right?
Ew.
That's all I need to know.
You can
We're good.
lift
Flavor on.
almost a ton.
No.
A ton is 1,000 pounds,
a ton
isn't
is
it?
2,000 pounds.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah, cool.
Half a
Okay, so but
Yeah,
like
half a ton.
it is
Yeah.
by his strength score. So what is the heaviest it could be if he maxed out his
20
strength?
times 60, 20,
1,200 pounds.
22. Yeah, like if like his is only a 13 or is only a 12.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even have that much
If he gets a
strength.
belt
It's just
of
'cause I'm a
giant
big-
strength or whatever, and it just auto makes his strength a 20.
Don't give me that item again.
I'm not trying to give you that item. I'm just saying things that do technically exist in 5e world. So basically, what happens? Hemp is like, oh, this looks like a good spot, and just snuggles up on Jax's shoulders, looks behind, sees Dareem tying a rope to giving the man, and just
ready,
getting ready to swing. You're like, yeah. And what do?
So I want to
You're
wait
gonna
till
tie a
I want to
rope to
wait
the
till
hip?
till you like you take off, and then I want to like backflip off of Jax and land on the front of Dareem's like bike, and that's even if I have to like hover.
Oh, the hoverboard?
Yeah, or hoverboard. Like even
Yeah.
if that's I have to hover in place. Like I like
Okay.
I like slow mo backflip like with my
Pirouette, yeah. Okay, so, Van, how far can you move in an action? 90 feet? 40? So you have, what's your movement speed?
My movement speed's 45.
Fuck
so
me. So 90,
feet
is
if I
a dash action. Mm-hmm. If you choose to do your...
To use a key point.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about key points.
Oh, no, continue. No, continue. What were you
Well,
saying?
you also have,
choose what?
as this last Ronar thing that I am not regretting whatsoever, this is fun for me, you also have the ability to double your movement speed in one turn, but you can't use it again until you stop. So you could do it, you could blast once. Mm-hmm. Or you could blast 180, stop for 6 seconds, blast 180. But isn't that just the same as
Yeah, it would be about the same.
as 90?
Yeah, we're moving at a standard pace of about
Yeah, it'd be
90
180.
feet
It'd be 180
per 6 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be 180 for 12 seconds either way. So, Van, what do you say as you have your children all over you before you're about to blast off again?
I guess this is friendship.
And he takes his Ronar Bold Runner stance
Yep.
and just muscles pumping.
Yep, same kind of stance. He leans forward a little bit,
Tests the
putting
weight.
one fist
Yeah.
down to the ground, just kind of judging the weight. He looks
Tugs
up,
a little on the rope, and then Dareem just kind of like shifts on the hoverboard, like, okay, all right, okay.
looking at into the distance. How far it is? Yeah, he takes off running at a smooth 90 feet per 6 second pace.
So, oh my God. So what you see in front of you is just tunnel. Like it's just dark tunnel, like dimly lit tunnel. There's not necessarily anything stopping you out per 90 feet. And as this happened, everybody lurching forward at 90 feet per 6 seconds, which I would love to know what miles an hour is if someone would like to do some math for me. I don't know how that calculation works, but Skylar, you could probably figure it out. You lurch forward. How many feet in a mile?
Feet in a mile is 5,120-ish, something like that. The big thing is it's about 4 miles per hour. 6 feet a second is 4 miles an hour. We're doing less
90?
than that. Yeah.
6 feet a second? You're doing 90 feet in 6 seconds.
90 feet in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Which would break down to we don't have continue.
It's 15.
So I'm doing 15 feet a second. Yes.
10 miles an hour. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Cool.
Cool.
Wait,
Which is honestly not as fast as you would think it is.
No, that's pretty fast.
That's super
for
fast.
a normal person.
I guess. Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying
Yeah.
Derek fucking Henry ran 22 miles an hour on that touchdown run against the Bills, okay? That's all I'm saying. They clocked his ass and motherfucker was the king, you know what I mean? Rest that ankle, baby.
Fair
Rest
enough.
that ankle.
But I'm essentially carrying.
You're also going slow.
Three people.
You're not
you're-
going 180
this is
feet in the
slow.
6 seconds. Like you're only,
Yeah,
for you.
you know, so you'd be going 20 miles an hour in 6 seconds. Also, 6 seconds. That's the
6
thing.
seconds.
Like we're also talking about the
Right.
distance here. Like that's fucking insane. Cool. So you testing everything. You dash forward. Dareem catches. I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Here we go.
I would like everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. Hep, yours will be to just fly yourself backwards in a most beautiful pirouette sort of backflip to just land perfectly on the front of the board.
That's
Mine
gonna
was
be a 3.
What am I rolling? Dexterity?
A dexterity saving throw.
Jax is like, oh, cool. This is gonna be. Sorry.
a 22.
8. 8.
We
and a
just
3.
got missed.
So, in this moment, everybody falls. Everybody just like Van takes off, and then after about 45 feet, realizes there's no one on me anymore. As Jax just falls backwards. Dareem just spins out upside down as the hoverboard's like going like this, and Heppen does the most beautiful backflip, only to just like overshoot it and like land back first just on the ground. But Heppen can fly, so it's not like anyone takes damage or any of this. It's just an absolute shit show. And then
From the distance, you hear Van. Maybe we walk.
I was gonna say all you like you could do it again. Now you know what to expect. Like, have you ever gotten on a wakeboard for the first time and it just lurches and you just eat shit?
Yeah.
So you just do it again and you're like, all right. I know I gotta hold on like this. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, not for now.
Just say,
we're walking.
let's
We're
try
walking.
one more time.
Dareem says, let's try one more time.
That was cool. Let's do it again.
Jax is excited. Y'all gather yourselves back up.
Come on, Van.
Fine.
Heaven's gonna walk up to Van. Van, try and fail, but the only true failure is when you stop trying.
Yeah.
Stole that shit from a Disney movie.
You know what?
Yeah. Heppen says,
right, Van gives it
Heppen
another
says
shot.
all of those words. Oh shit, stole that shit from a Disney movie. And you have no idea what that. Well, actually, Van,
I do.
make a history check for the Wasted World.
Can this be an advantage because it's
Yes,
Disney?
because it is. Well, you get advantage because it's Death Guard shit and Wasted World shit.
Right.
But it's also Disney. 16.
16. Heppen, what were you referencing? Do you know what movie?
Haunted Mansion.
For some reason, Van, who knows why Heppen has seen fucking Haunted Mansion somehow. You recognize that quote as one of the movies in your very long time on Earth. You didn't even have to sneak in. You fucking soul walked right into a theater one time and you watched it.
How do you... never mind. Just get on. Just get on.
As y'all gather yourself, you make your way, this time all holding on. I'm not going to make you make deck saves.
Making my way.
I will, for flavor, I slow down a tiny bit, like a teeny tiny
you
bit.
adjust so the initial burst, right? You do most of it, like you give a little bit more gradual inertia, right? Instead of just whiplashing everybody into
We messed up.
and as y'all make your way down the tunnel, you go 90 feet, 180 feet, 270 feet, 360.
That is math.
Do y'all know how I do nines? You just do the next one and -1 off of the second number. 450.
Can I listen to the artifact?
540. You see what I'm
while
saying?
we're doing this?
Does that make sense?
No.
Not really, but it will over time.
Well, so
I
like,
just-
Never
I
gonna
know
make
my
sense to me,
multiplication.
but that's okay.
Yeah. I just know my multiplication templates.
I don't. My brain does not work that way, and I have to do really weird things to make it make sense. 9 plus 9, you just -1 off of the 9 since that's what you're adding it into. So it's 10 plus 8.
Oh.
9 plus 7 is 16.
No, not you. Skylar makes more sense.
Multiplication tables.
You know what I'm saying? This is how
So
I add
multiples
nines in
of
my head.
9, right?
Well, I mean, it's easier to add
Yeah.
10 and a number together, so I get that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but 9 is the one I was like. Anyway, yeah, it's fun.
We're
It's
gonna
fun to
start
have.
this.
I mean,
brains.
you've just come into least common denominators for multiplication tables. That's all you're doing,
I don't know
more or
what
less.
that means. You fucking nerd. Okay.
Nerds in the D&D game that he's DMing. Fucking nerd.
I don't think that's least common denominator. That's just common factors in a thing.
Jax, during this whole time, has started to space out about numbers. What are least common denominators? And is just started to spout off a little history. Is that okay, Jax?
Yeah, 100%. He's giving a dissertation that he's remembering about math as he is learning math in this moment, you know?
Yeah, he's counting the feet that
'Cause
you're
there
going.
were 3 of those monsters. What is the number 3? And then he's just like,
Yeah. You go about 500 feet, 600 feet, and at this point is where, God, it is wild that y'all made a car. I don't know how you did this.
I've got a hoverboard, man.
You do
Right,
hear
yeah.
a slight whirring off in the distance. The tunnel so far, as you've just been navigating through, has been going the same thing. It's like going through an abandoned tunnel train station, right? Like there weren't any tunnels going up that you've seen so far. There were no more entrances. You're going through like the walk in between 2 huge sections of the train. The dust kicks up all around you. This pale, gross kind of dust that you have like smelled a bunch. You even like got a whiff of it from the Death Guard armor, if you remember when you were in the prize room. Like there still seems to be something somewhat familiar about like what this dust is, like whatever its components are, its minerals, like whatever makes it up. It's almost like it kind of catches on your tongue and like you smell it a little bit, and it's kind of metallic and very irony as you're blasting forward. Eventually, there will be a red off in the distance, about 200 feet away, 100 feet away. A red glow breaks the blackness that has been this tunnel that you've just been running through.
Do you see that?
Saying while huffing and running, I guess.
yeah, what is that?
I'm just.
And in behind you, Doreen is just doing snowboard 900s
I can't
up
hear
the wall
anything, yeah.
as Heaven is just like, yeah! Like, just like both of them are just like, they're like treating the wall like a half pipe as they're going up. And then Dareem is doing the wakeboard 360 where he like goes around it. He like takes the
I'm
wrist
about
to
to say,
wrist.
I'm disengaging it and
Yeah.
doing stuff and all that and
Yeah,
re-engaging.
it's just full SSX tricky behind you.
It's tricky.
That's what you hear.
Video game I played when I was little.
Yeah, Heb does say that. Yeah, Heb does say that.
This was my
We're we're gonna keep going towards it.
This was my dream. Which is really weird because if you're playing SSX, you somehow memorize the English and you have sang it back perfectly, though you have no idea technically what you just sang. Have you ever tried to play like a Japanese game with no translation? You're just clicking buttons. That's basically, I guess, what you did on a GameCube with SSX Tricky.
And we're just like,
so many questions.
Yeah, Hep has some wonderful, wonderful life. So, what do? You keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep moving forward.
Are you going at your speed? Because you'll be there in 6 seconds if it's 100 feet away.
Yeah, we slowed down a tiny bit. Like, not a lot, but just like noticed something, and that caused a slight decrease in speed, but we're still like running forward.
At this point, as you're running forward, that red light will permeate, and once you get about 50 feet away, you notice two things. Off to the right is the first opening, like an entrance, like triple stairway across, leading up off away from the tram. There is an opening to the right, and then about 30 feet past that opening, the entire forward area from tram section to the walkway section is covered in countless thousands of little lizard-like robots that are piled on top of each other, that are all seemingly literally latched from leg to leg as if some sort of wall, as their eyes are off and their chests glow, and they all in unison as they're vibrating and seemingly sleeping in this ridiculous wall that seems to cut off your path.
I'm going to try and I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, you stop.
And hoping
you stop.
it doesn't
you stop
do anything
and do the
to the other
skid,
guys.
and then that's when Ryan's tricking. Oh shit! As Dareem and Evan just like come out in front of you, and you just grab the rope, right? And you just like woo! All the way in a 360 around to like you literally
dissipate that
all the way in a 360 around you to get them back to the wall for him to run up it and then back down and stop. And you stop in this moment.
Yeah.
Keep it down. You see that over there?
Yeah.
Should I sing him a lullaby?
I think they're already asleep. I don't know if they need a lullaby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, there's an entrance.
because we saw that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or there's
There's an entrance over there. We can take that.
Okay.
We have to be quiet.
Let's go quiet.
Wait, what way is the thing pointing?
I'll listen to it really quick.
As you hold it, focusing on it, in front of you is this kitty widget wall. To your right is this entrance, and it points between them. If that makes sense. To where you're now, however you are on the train, piecing it together, because you've got a really great sense of time and direction in the first place because of keen mind. You're guessing you're maybe, I don't know if you're halfway through the train yet, but like could be. And as you've gotten this close now, it is pointing in a even more specific direction. It's not just pointing forward. It is now pointed forward at the kitty widget wall and then shifted off to the right, which, piecing it together, how the train has worked so far, maybe up the tunnel and then forward from there could get you there also.
Pointing a little bit.
Yeah, you'll literally see.
Yeah, I'll just see it, yeah. Maybe maybe we can find a way through that entrance.
He holds up I just want to reiterate, it looks like a pot lid, basically, right? But it is like this ornate, beautiful metal with a handle on it, and that's like what he's holding up.
Start walking in that direction then.
Yeah, as you make your
quietly.
way, as you start making your way up the stairs, y'all all hear as a yellow rock falls its way out of Dareem's pocket, clacking down the stairs behind you until it lands in the middle of the tramway right before the wall of kitty widgets.
What was that sound?
I think I
Dream,
dropped.
can you identify that rock finally?
Yeah, we gotta get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get it?
I'll go fly over real quiet and grab it.
I'll identify it.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Ooh, 8 + 6.
Okay. Flying with your 14, you just kind of buzz over, look over, and they're all just still in some sort of stasis mode as you pick up the rock and fly off.
Bring it to Dream, and I'm gonna hold it very tightly in my hands and say, Dream, touch it and identify it. I'm afraid it's gonna jump away again.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and identify that.
Hold on, maybe we should do this somewhere else.
Yeah, that sounds smart. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of kitty widgets.
But the thing is pointing here, just do it quick.
They may be right.
You did it.
I'll just do it. Yeah, I just did
As
it.
you cast the identify spell, mark that off on your sheet.
Yeah, I
It
did.
takes a minute to cast Identify.
As you take a minute to cast the identify spell, you stand there. The kitty widgets.
If I did it ritual,
It would take 10 minutes.
Would it
It
take?
would take
Oh,
11
never mind.
minutes.
Okay. Yeah, never mind.
10 plus
Never
casting.
mind.
Yep.
It'll take 11 minutes.
So I just do that then. I'll just
As
cast
you
it.
cast it, a minute goes by. No seeming shift in the kitty widgets. Beyond, you have in front of you a yellow rock.
Oh,
It
that's great.
Gives no magical essence. It is just a mundane object that is a yellow rock.
Why the hell did it fall out of my
It
pocket?
fell out of mine too.
All right.
Anybody, guys? I'm gonna I'll pick it up and I'm gonna put it inside a zipper pocket inside of my jacket.
Yeah, you zip it up
Yeah.
good in your awesome pirate coat. Which is true.
Yeah. Okay, let's follow the thing.
Yeah, as you make your way up, you see 10 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet up these stairs, these ornate tiles, beautiful, like walking up Grand Central Station, this beautiful, beautifully crafted stairwell. You make your way up until it stops at a wall, a huge wall in front of you, and over in giant letters that are dusted over now, it says Oasis Park with 2 double doors standing right there.
Van is, he's there with everybody, but he's actually kind of taken to the side a little bit. He's got one hand rested against the wall. He's trying not to really show it, but he's visibly exhausted.
Y'all see that?
Can I go try to open the door?
Yeah. As you fly up to the door, door handle opens, and you just start pulling back these big double doors if you want to.
You wanna go in, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess let's do it.
Yes, let's go.
As we're walking in, Jax just kind of walks up beside Van and just goes, "Are you okay, Mr. Van?"
Yes, I'm fine, Jax. Don't worry about me.
Do I worry about him?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Is that a deception, Van, or is this an honest, that's how you feel? It can be whatever you want.
It is verbally.
I'll say Jax got a 5.
He's trying to be as truthful as possible with that statement.
Jack's got a 5.
Uh-huh. I don't think he can discern anything deeper than that. He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he just kind of walks along. Jaunty little step.
As you crest forward, light, like sunlight, golden white, this white and gold light opens, cresting through the door, and you enter into Oasis Park. You walk out. The first thing you see, it's like standing over rolling fields everywhere. From the left, in front of you, to the right. Rolling fields surround this as you walk out of the doorway. Like you're every 20 feet, right? Like you're on the highest crest. And then they dip down, forward, backwards, around. You walk into a monstrous, huge, like a beautiful state park. Atop each set of the hills, and over to the left of you, literally, like you are on the far end, the far south end of a hill, basically, and off to the left, a forest area sits atop this hill. It's like 100 feet across of just these tall, beautiful trees that cascade up to the ceiling. And you can see across as you're looking out that as the hills dip and come back up, each section of this hill, of these hills, each have their own little 50-foot wide, 100-foot wide forest area, thicket of trees atop them, all around from what you can see. As you look over to the left, exotic smells hit your nostrils, sweet and tangy, filling everything around you. From atop the nearest tree, you can see these branches that come off of it as these juicy and exotic fruits are pulsing and gorging with juices as they are growing and growing, filling to the brim enough as one falls and plops to the ground. And you see now that in that forest area off in the distance, maybe 20 feet from you, I mean, you're right there, it's not really that off in the distance, you see that it is filled with fruits all over just scattering the ground. In each tree trunk, there seems to be some sort of metal working coming out as these tubes are coming out of the trees, pouring some sort of liquid, something into them, that all come up from the hill area itself. And you stand in Oasis Park.
This place looks amazing.
As you look up to the sky, as Dareem says that, you can see it's like standing in a greenhouse, right? Giant glass area, and it's this slant, huge across slant to where just forward and back, you feel like you're in this huge space that is 4 times longer than it is wide, right? Like you can see the other side of the park from this vantage point across, and off to the right, the from where you would have entered if you just came like quote unquote the normal way, the park goes off into the distance down to the south, and then off to the left, the trees are kind of obscuring your view, but the Oasis Park just goes off into the distance off to the left, the north part of the train.
Can I listen to the artifact?
Yeah, the artifact, much like before, as you're standing at the doorway with at your back, so you are on the east wall, right? And you're pointing forward from the east wall, pointing west. As you listen, the artifact points you to the north, and it seems to be straight ahead and forward.
I was going to ask, is east to west the long distance or north to south the long distance?
Is the short distance. That is the width of the train, basically. And north, south to north is the long distance, because that's the length of the train, which makes sense. You've seen maps before of this place. If you would have gone from Festmaster, not the circus area, through that metal gate that was barred that you couldn't get through, right? The metal plating, you probably would have come out somewhere south of you now, down there in the park.
I guess, is the artifact facing towards like yes, north, but is north where like what is north, I guess?
Currently, there's hills all around you, and there is this huge tree section in front of you. You can't really see an end to it. You can only see the first part of the beginning, but looking at it, going through this tree section, it does offer, honestly, cover. Like, if you can't see through it, possibly other things can't either.
The artifact points this way, and I point towards the forest-looking area.
All right, let's go.
As you make your way forward, 20 feet through the tree line, our sweet little party breaks the tree line,
While we're walking
forward.
Can I pull out the dagger and look into it?
The Princess Bane?
Yeah, and I want to kind of go towards the back and pull out the dagger and look into it and be like, "Hey, yo, Mama Noth, I got a question for you. What the fuck's up with this yellow rock?" I know you're in there. Fucking made eye contact with me. You got fucking circus noises in there. Hey, come on out.
Just for funsies, can I hear this?
Oh yeah. I don't know how.
Okay.
Well, how stealthy are you really trying to be, Heaven?
I'm just kind of hanging out in the back. Like, I feel like that might be normal though, because Hep's always like talking to himself, like singing songs, doing whatever. Like,
Hep, he's there in the back, and he's looking into the pommel, and like, like you hear it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's one.
Anyone who wants to hear it, who's not distracted, I don't see why not. Especially Van. I mean, Van's passive
Yeah,
perception
I just
is a
assume I
20,
hear
so.
everything within like a radius.
Yeah, you
It's like I
definitely
hear it.
The dagger makes no answer.
hey, psst. Do I know her name?
It was Power Ilton, is what the title that you knew.
Power Ilton. I want you to talk to me. We're connected now. So if you're trying to use me for something, you're gonna have to talk to me eventually.
I'll just say, Heppen, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just trying to get to the bottom of this yellow rock thing.
Huh. I just keep walking forward.
And some people say that the answers are within
They do? Within what?
yourself. Jax, any question that you have, I guarantee you can come up with the answer for it.
Oh God.
Is that true? Have I had the answers the whole time?
Make a wisdom saving throw. I'm just kidding.
His head
Try it out.
explodes. Jax is like, okay, what are those, me? And he points at like a tree or something, like in the Oasis Park.
That's
like,
a tree.
Jax, what's that?
It's a tree.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tree, Jax. You already knew that. Oh, I did know that. Thanks, Jax.
Yeah.
This kind of cyclical thing of him being like, Jax, what's that? And he's just like talking about the environment around him as he's talking in the, what is that? Third person?
Third person.
Yeah.
Van is gonna very respectfully try and like usher Jax along, like not stopping him from what he's
He
doing, but
walks
just
up to
kind of
them,
like
right? And it's like,
nudging him.
metal tube. Metal. I know tubes. And you're like, yeah, that's metal. Come on.
Wow, Jax, you really do know the answers. I don't need anyone's help. Oh, wait.
Heppen, can you stop breaking the child, please?
I'm not doing anything.
True. As you're looking at the dagger, there doesn't seem to be any answer.
Hey, if you don't talk to me, I'm gonna rub you on my butt.
To that, I just stop and I just look back.
Hep, what is going on with this dagger?
Nothing. There's something torn.
Okay, fine.
Continue forward. I am at least.
Hep, are you doing what they do in Karth Wild? Is it?
Are you poppering?
Are you poppering?
You know what I've been talking about? Don't take me back there, Dream.
I'm sorry.
I'd
was just
like to forget
confused.
those days.
We broke Sam.
From a very small distance away, you're hearing an audible just from Van as he's walking
They'll
forward.
all remember the sound of the fart.
Alright, I continue forward.
As y'all walk your way through this forest, there are fruits all over the ground. The tree stands still, and it is at this point, at about 50 feet in, you are seemingly feeling like, okay, we're in the middle of this thing. Like you are now surrounded by the woods themselves.
Jax picks up a fruit and goes, oh, what's this, Jax? It's fruit? A food, something edible. Maybe it's the sustenance. Oh, it's like a piper. Jax looks around, sees if anyone looking at him.
Not really.
Wasn't actively watching him myself, so I'll say
I'm
no
not
Jax
watching
is-
him now.
Jax is going to take a bite of this fruit for
I'm
sure.
still talking to the sword dagger, saying, "Hey, what if I let you out if you talk to me? I'll let you free. I just want to know what's up with this rock, lady.
He's curious to know what the fruit tastes like.
Do you want
You take a
peanut
bite.
butter?"
He's experiencing all 5 senses, trying to get to know what they are.
As you take a bite, juices explode in your mouth, delicious and exotic. The juices are hearty, but there is a slight iron taste to the taste, but it's just kind of a bitter aftertaste, but it washes away for a second. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Yikes.
Is this count as being poisoned?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nearly douche note.
13.
13. As this happens, your vision begins to turn green. Beautiful. As the darkness takes over your mind's eye, and you see, in a brief second, this feeling of compulsion of, yeah, I am supposed to eat more of these. I'm supposed to get bigger. That's the design for Arlmere.
Arlmere.
And your mind's eye opens a little as your body doesn't process food like a normal body. That your mind's eye cracks open for a moment, and you feel it shoot through that darkness and that compulsion taking over you for but a moment. And you can tell that whatever you just heard it's like an echo. Something compelling you to do this that you were not supposed to hear. You heard a secret message because you're Jax. And
Oh, okay.
in that moment, as your body pumps underneath, and y'all see as your stomach begins to rumble, the steam rises off of you, and the energy that normally coalesces once you eat something, right? It turns to black in dark mist as it off of your skin, and you're just like, oh no.
Jax, are you okay?
I don't feel good.
Oh no! I'm gonna fly directly into the sky.
You fly.
Just like over the side, just
Yeah.
directed
Oh,
just
is
right.
it not a fireball this time, or acid?
You notice that there's a slight acidic to the throw up, but it's not as caustic as it was the last time you did this.
Happen as you take to the sky, you break the tree line, just in this little moment, and you could see the entire park from where you are.
What do I see?
What you see as you crest through oh, hell no. You just fly up through the trees. You can see that you are in the middle of this forest section. There are about 14 forest sections, all on the top of these hills that roll from the back of the train, from the back south to the north. You're currently about 1/3 of the way through. You still have another 2/3 of this park to get through. And the hills crest up and down into these forest sections going forward. And in the middle of the entire place, the largest, instead of a hill, is a recess into the ground that is covered with trees. Like some sort of thicker forest in the middle of everything, standing in Oasis Park.
Whoa. All right, I'm gonna fly back down. Well, friends, we have a lot of woods.
The other thing that you see, off in the distance on the other hill, something seems to be moving over there.
Can I tell anything other than just something's moving?
Make a perception check.
I'm perceiving at a number of unnatural 20.
A 20. The way that the golden white hits it, the light of the sky overhead, cresting through whatever glass canopy it is, It doesn't glint, so it doesn't seem to be metal, right? It doesn't shine off of it, but that's about the most. It's maybe some creatures, maybe not. Something is moving through the trees.
And where's that coming from?
The next forest area over.
Oh, I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna say, well, friends, we have a lot of more forests to walk through, and there's somebody in the next one. It's not metal.
Somebody?
Something. I don't know. It's not metal. That's all I know, but it was moving.
Jax is kind of just like on his knees, like just, this fruit is gross.
You shouldn't have eaten this, little one.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't try and eat everything I come across. I'm not sure though.
Yeah. Hey, look, Jax. Now you have that answer.
But that came from the fruit.
No, it's now in your brain, right? So it came from you.
Do I have a brain?
You have something.
I do have something. That's right.
Eben, are you sure you couldn't see what was in the other forest?
No, you want me to go fly over and check? Get a little closer? Do a little...
If you
A
can.
little drone sneaky sneaks my spy?
Yes, do all of it.
I guess at this moment, Jax is also seeing if Arlmir rings any bells in his mind.
Make a history check.
Yeah, okay.
Question.
Arlmir.
If
Yeah.
Dream were to scry on me while I was in the sky, would they see what I'm seeing, or do they see like a what perspective? When you
They would see you about 20, like a camera looking down about 10 feet away that sees 30 feet around them, like a wide angle.
Okay, so I could like turn around in circles and it would change the angle of the camera?
You can certainly try. I'm going to say anchored to you as a point. The scry could do this a little, right? But for the most part, like, it's just watching you in this like fixed camera position.
Okay, y'all want to see? I have an idea.
Okay. I got a 12 for my history check, by the way.
There's something about the way the words form in your brain. Patterns. Something feels familiar, though the words themselves make no sense. Doesn't ring a bell towards anything.
Okay, Dream. You're gonna scry on me, and I'm gonna fly up into the sky, and then you're gonna be able to look at what I'm looking at through the scry.
So, on a failed save, the spell creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. So, the sensor moves with the target remaining 10 feet of the duration. So, basically, he could see what you see. Like, if you're up in the sky and he's 10 feet off of you, above you, then he can look down, but he whatever you see would be what he sees. I don't know if he can necessarily, like, see more.
Comprehend what.
Dope, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm
That
gonna say, look at
is
scry on me.
actually a good plan.
Okay, sure.
Y'all got cars and drones now. Cool. Right on.
I guess I'll use scry and
10 minutes later.
10 minutes later.
Do you want to fail this spell, Hep?
I mean, yeah, I want him to see everything. Yes.
I'm gonna say it works because
Cool.
I'm the dungeon master. Welcome to my dungeon.
I'm gonna fly. You ready? Now you can see me. You can see, can you see?
Yeah,
Can you see?
I can. Whoa.
Okay, I'm gonna fly up into the sky. You see that thing?
So basically what happens as you look into the orb now, and it is still recessed into the book if you grabbed the book with it, like no one ever took it out.
Yeah, I
as you're
didn't take
staring
it
into
out, I
the
guess.
orb, your vision, your eyes spark in color as your vision gets sucked into it, and you are now looking over where you're standing at yourself, at Hep, and yourself, and
Is it
your
only
crew.
me seeing this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But you
No
can,
vision stuff.
You can talk to us while you're watching
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But you can't hear anyone talking unless it's through the orb. So I guess you could hear talking right now.
For
Because
right
you
now.
see and hear
yeah.
as if you were there. So you are there. And your perception is 10 feet in the air, looking down on all of you instead of being in your body.
Dream, you ever wanted to see what you looked like?
Evan, like a documentary crew person, flies down in front of Dareem, forcing the scry to follow. And Dareem, you're just standing there as your eyes are just staring into this, book open, staring into the orb as like energy is just sparking off.
This is interesting.
Okay,
Show me where you want it to show me.
Okay, movie stuff. I'm gonna go fly towards the moving stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna fly off 50 feet through this forest. As you come to the edge of the hill, 100-something feet down a hill, up another hill. Those forest sections, there are creatures, like there was something moving in there, and that's where you're going. Mm-hmm. Like an awesome action sequence, Hep just flies off through the woods, right, and you are following behind. Like a sweet wide over the shoulder shot and just like a back shot action as you're flying over the hill. Are you trying to be stealthy? You're about to enter open area, right? So like you could try, but like you have to do like, what do you want to do?
Well, when I get to like the break in the tree line, I want to just like fly up to kind of like the top of the trees and see what I can see from there. Like,
okay, so from up there, go ahead and make another perception check.
How does this work with Dream? Do they just see they see exactly what I see?
They see 10 feet behind. They are 10 feet behind you in the air, essentially.
Okay.
Looking also.
Okay. 15 total.
In the next tree line over, Dareem, you can see this too. The hills going down and up. Whatever you saw before doesn't seem to. There is no movement in that tree line right now.
I don't see anything right now.
I'll say out loud that I don't see what I saw before. I'm gonna keep going.
Cool. Which part of the area are you taking to?
Is it just like a wide open area, or is there any tree line that I can hug to get to like the next thing? It's just wide open.
There is pure, hill to nothing, to hill through a downward slope through a plain to the next tree line.
I'll go back and I'll say wherever they are, I don't see it anymore. Yeah.
Now, Dareem, do you want to detect thoughts on Heaven? Because you could do that right now. Not that you have to. I'm just saying you technically can.
Yeah, I could. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do it.
You fly back.
Avoid it. Okay. Yeah, it's probably a good choice, honestly.
I don't need to know what's going on in there right now.
You fly back.
Can I'll disengage the scry.
Okay. Coming out of the scry, standing there, all in the woods.
Whatever it is, I don't see it anymore. Sorry, waste of time. But that was kind of cool. We can drone now.
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
That's super cool.
I just got to an open area, and I didn't want to go too far without y'all being able to save me.
Could you tell when you saw it the first time if it was really big or...
No, it was moving at the trunks level. Like, it's possibly creature sized, you know what I mean? Like, it's movement 100 feet away, or hundreds of feet away. Like, it's hard to necessarily know, but it was not, whatever was moving was not the size of a tree, or you definitely would have known that.
Word. All right, well, I guess we just keep moving forward.
As y'all walk through the rest of this forest, slowly, one by one, little juicy fruits will fill up from the top of the branches and just plop down, and as they hit next to you, and you'll keep going forward.
This is very strange. How quickly these fruits are growing.
Gross. Jax kind of kicks the fruit as he's walking by them.
Yeah, you kick the fruit.
Do you think we should scry on Noth?
We could.
Are you curious?
I mean, we can keep walking as you're trying, right?
I think so. I'll give you intel. And I go ahead and scry on off.
10 minutes.
After
so
10 minutes.
are y'all gonna make your way over the hill area? Because I'm gonna say like you're kind of at the tree line at this point. Are you gonna go down the hills? I know you wanted to do it, Skylar. I see your face. Do you want to go down and over the hills into the next tree line as he's trying to attempt to scry? Can you walk and cast? I mean, I guess you can walk and cast.
I could just,
Stand on the
autopilot hoverboard,
Yeah, okay. You son of a... You jump on your hoverboard. You hand the rope to Van.
I will take the rope.
And you lock yourself in and tie it to your wrist and then look into the orb.
And going on to Noth.
So it'll take 10 minutes to cast. Cool. So as you begin this process, y'all start going down the hill. Everybody go ahead and make a perception check.
8.
20.
Van and Heppen, you see basically the same things. It looks pretty clear from all sides. And the truth is, Jax, even with the 20, the only thing you really, like, from this perception smell, like, off in the distance, on not, like, so there's the forest in front of you, then there's another forest hill section way off in the distance, off to the right, and then there's, like, a couple more, right? You think you catch some sort of movement, maybe, way off in the distance in another of the tree sets, but it seems that your path right now is clear as you're making your way down this hill.
I kind of just pull Van's cloak and be like, I think there's something moving over there, that direction.
This is so freaking far away. Like, it's just a 20, you know? Something seems to be maybe in the trees. It could, I guess in theory, it could also be the fruits falling, right?
All right. Is the direction we're currently going north?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So you're still roughly at the wall,
we're still on
right? Like you're still roughly just caressing the east wall as you're making your way forward. As you're making your way up to the forest, the next forest area forward, Dareem, your vision...
Why can't I use rolls like everyone else gets to? Why do mine suck so much? My rolls are so bad and I'm angry. This is bullshit. I was trying to hurt you a lot earlier so you could take a long rest, but you just said, no, I'm going to win.
So you want the secret?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the secret. Just get good, all right? Just
That's all it ever really
Don't tell him that. We're screwed.
got him.
Well, not failed. And as your vision pulls out, it doesn't go that far.
like
Your scry up into the air. It moves forward through the Oasis Park. And you see in the middle of the Oasis Park this thicket of trees, larger than all the rest, sitting there. And as your vision flies through the treetops, down through the branches, it opens into a clearing hidden in the middle of this area. Hundreds of stone tables, like some outside parkway, ready for a feast, are filled with steaming fruit all around. As your vision stops about 10 feet away from a groggy and waking up Noth, who has just been drooling on this table as he sits up. Oh, God. Oh, what the fuck happened? Stepping out, as he looks over, you can see in the scry, off not even 30 feet, a dwarven woman, an Ethium woman, about 4 feet, 4'5", beefy, covered in plate mail, is working with pots and pans as she cooks in this like array of stacked, like 50 stacked ovens, literally, as other pieces of earth, like she's literally using, like, as she's standing there cooking, more or less, pulling from one, pulling from another, there's these 50 set of stacked ovens that the ground rises up beneath her, to reach an oven, right? Like on a pillar, as she opens one, puts another thing in, goes to this one, opens up another thing, and she keeps grabbing. She comes down, and then off to the side, you can see all these barrels stacked with all of this fruit that looks very familiar to you as a set of these 3 stone gorilla-looking golems wheel up carts of fruit, stop, and then just start putting them in barrels for her as she's, oh, so you're finally awake, huh? You stupid son of a bitch. What the fuck happened to you? And then she comes down. Y'all got this? Yeah. I said you got this. She turns around and rides a little wave of earth over to Noth, sitting next to him at the table. You really fucked up this time, you know that, right? Noth grabs at his head. Oh, God, I don't know. I think I was drugged. It's kind of awesome. If I'm being honest, why am I here? I don't fucking know. What do you mean, why are you here? I'm literally one of my boys, they fucking picked you up in a barrel and put your ass over here with me. What do you mean, why are you here? The Ethium says as she's like, starts to like look back at her ovens as she's just like calculating cook times for everything. Look, all I know is we're on phase 4 right now. You know what fucking phase 4 means? Yeah, I know what phase, oh God, phase 4. Yeah, we're on phase 4 right now. That means it's feast time. Morwen's on his way, all right? So we need to get everything prepared so that we don't miss the deadline. I think we already understand. You know you fucked up, right? Adane knows all about it. He stands up immediately, just flourishing his coat. Wait, what do you mean?
Can I detect thoughts on
Yeah, go ahead. In this moment, as you detect thoughts on him, you get his surface thoughts on. How is it a 1?
He's fucked.
Not as fuck, dude.
Yeah, he's just messed up.
Well, he failed to save if you want to probe deeper, but also his surface thoughts right now are panic. He has these little flashes of walking through a park area out of nowhere, just seeing energy at his face left and right. He remembers there were these little royals that he walked into his area, but he was going to go talk to a Dane, and then he ate some like green paste stuff, and then he saw the universe. He has no idea. He's like literally waking up, and he's coming down off of a bad trip, and it's starting to sweat off of his forehead, and he's just like starting to panic. That's his surface thoughts.
Let's go ahead and dig deeper.
He does know that something dug deeper if you do this.
Would I be like, let me see. Do I have the choice of just digging deeper or switching targets?
You could just switch targets on an action to get the surface thoughts of another thing that you see.
I guess let's get the surface thoughts of the person that he's with. Do I get
Graina?
to know her name? Okay, I was about to say, is that Graina?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That is definitely Graina.
Okay, so then, yeah, let's get the thoughts of her.
You just get these. She doesn't have to save against this?
Correct. I believe
so. The surface thoughts right now of her are this really weird mix of she loves this. Watching him squeal and squirm, like, this is just exactly how it's supposed to happen. Like, the whole point of adventuring with your boys, with your peeps, is to be out and adventuring. Sometimes they fuck up, sometimes they don't. And, like, that's just kind of what it is. Yeah, she's going to do her thing, all right? And, like, she like, kind of checks over the ovens, and, like, one moment, a pillar of earth rises her up as she reaches out and pulls out some fruits and then replaces it in another oven. She comes back down, and, like, her surface thoughts are basically this, like, I'm really good at my job. And I love this moment right now because Noth is very boisterous and bitch got something happened to him. It's funny to see him freaking out.
I see. Cool.
As she comes back down, all I know is your circus area, your little freak show, got ransacked from something. Morwen is pissed off because his little brain kitties are gone. They're dead. Like the ones that he worked so hard on, the OGs, they ain't here no more. Because somebody done been up on this train, and that person, some little royals or something came in. So what happened? Yeah, Yeah, no, I met some, but I think they drugged me, and they are super powerful warriors from across the lands. They must be here to do something against me. They came and attacked me, and I was taken unawares, and then I don't know how I blacked out.
I'll dig deeper into Noth.
Into Noth?
Yeah. He has to do a wisdom saving throw.
I already rolled that one. That was the one.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll just dig deeper then.
So digging deeper into Schnath.
I think once he says that they're after me, that's when I dig deeper.
Okay. In this moment, specifically what he's thinking about is he's remembering meeting y'all for the first time as he ran out of the tunnel, right? He got called as he was like chilling out in his circus area. He was in bed in his little room, and then he got a call from Hollander. Did we make a stop? And Noth just started lying because he's a very, very anxious person. And he's like, yeah, we may, yeah, what do you mean? Am I supposed to be there? And so he rushed forward to deal with it because the last thing he wants is he doesn't want his crew to know that it's really hard for him to not succumb to the pressure of doing things correct for the people he cares about. So he rushes forward, he meets y'all, very flustered, and you see that memory. And now, after just showing y'all the circus area, he knows what the smiles are. He knows that, like, the plan is y'all get the smiles, you become sedated, then Morin takes you off and does whatever the fuck he wants to do with you. But, like, you get this, like, basically his version of the interaction of meeting y'all, and then the peanut butter hits. And even beyond that, there's just this sinking feeling of pressure of never being good enough for those that he cares about.
I'll pull out of his, like, I'll still be in that general area.
In the scry?
The scry. In Detect Thoughts, it says that you can also use the spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. Are there thinking creatures that I can't see right now in the scry?
Something seems to be approaching from the outside of the woods.
It's a third. Let me see. When you cast the spell,
what's the range?
You can search for thoughts within 30 feet. Oh, that says 30 feet of me. I don't know if that works.
It counts from where you're at the scry.
At the scry. Okay, so yeah, within 30 feet.
So within that 30 feet, no.
Can penetrate barriers.
So you got a freebie. But no,
okay, cool.
the ones that you can see that are holding thought are these two, and the golems have started like moving off back in the trees now with empty barrels, leaving the forest area.
And you said that they are in the Oasis Park?
They are in the middle of it, yeah. So there's all these 14 hill areas on the outsides, and in the very middle of the park, which you haven't seen yet, it's like 2 or 3 forests over. In the very center is this like giant area.
Would I know that they're ahead of us, or would it be like kind of, actually no, because I know where north is, and if I am where I am and they are north of me, I would know, right?
In theory, I'm going to say that you would know that they are to the northwest probably of where you are. Okay. If you walk into the middle of that giant forest area, you will find them. You know what I mean? Like, It was easy to see. Even as Heppen flew off into the air the first time you went up into the trees looking through the scry, that forest area was off in the distance, off to the northwest.
Okay, cool.
It is at this point a rumbling shakes the area, and everybody feels this. As y'all have just been kind of making your way through the trees, you did not notice anything else, right? The floor of this forest area has no fruit on it. The second one that y'all all reached, right? As you're just pulling Dareem along, and you've walked to the next tree line. And is at this point that the walls start to shake and rumble, and you can see way off in the distance on the north wall, the exit, these monstrous 50-foot doors have begun to swing open.
Holy crap.
In the scry, you hear, "Am I
too early.
As walking from the tree line into this 100-foot picnic stone table area, Morwen walks in, the squid-faced man. No, you're right on time. I got stuff cooking. Bring them on in, and we'll get this feast started. You know what I mean? I'm excited it's just been happening finally.
I see you found the dumbass.
No, I don't think that's very fair. I was attacked, and I was drugged by powerful, wasted world wizards. That's what they must be. They gave me something I'd never recognized before.
Shut it, dummy dumb.
Yeah, you got him, dummy dumb. You know that, right? Guys, this isn't funny, okay? Every time I try something, Morin just kind of holds up his hands.
It is time for the last part of what we are looking for.
And Grana's like, cracks her neck. Cool. You got any leads on our little escapees? Whoever fucked this dumbass up? Come on, really?
I do not. Hollander said he would take care of it. But that is not our concern. Dane wants things moving forward as normal.
All right, sounds good to me. Just bring him on in.
Can I detect the thoughts of Morwen?
Yes, you can. Excitement. Pure excitement. This has been such a long time coming. And there's something in the weight of that thought of a long time coming that is beyond the scope of this train. It's not a year coming. It's not 2 years coming. It's not 10 years coming. It's not 40 years in the making. Whatever he's excited about has been a journey for a very, very long time. And there's a little hint in there of he's the only one who knows that.
I'll dig deeper.
As you dig deeper, come on, bitch! I'm gonna murder. It's a one. It's a one. Do you see what the hell? What is happening?
Yeah. Wow.
He failed. It's a one, and he failed.
Nice.
Okay. You get this memory as you probe deeper. And in that moment of 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, this plan, this thing in the making, you know what a cleric of the god of the sunken would be looking for. You know that this destiny is exactly where and what you're supposed to be doing. You like these creatures. You being Morwen. He likes these creatures. He's grown very fond of them. From that first moment that a Dane attacked him and then had his whole crew wiped 10 years ago, to every adventure going forward and every just piece of everything you saw in a Dane and how this plan has just coalesced. And you see, and as this feeling shakes, you see a vision, a memory. Deep, deep in a dark underground world stands a city. And in this kingdom, all look up to the Gloom God as cresting over the top of a hill, a castle stands and a black sun rises all in the city. It's reverence time. Bend a knee. A younger Morwen bends the knee and says,
Always for Arlmere.
And he knows his plan. And he knows what he has to do. And it's at this moment you hear, outside of the vision,
They're doing it again.
and you are, come on, don't fuck me. Not ejected because I rolled a 6 from his vision, but you do hear a chuckling outside of this memory.
They seem to be able to watch us. Do you see that?
No, I don't see anything. You're hearing these voices talk from outside the memories. What do you do?
What do I do?
What can you do?
Yeah.
I can't really do anything right now.
I mean, you can come out of it and still be in the scry.
I could. Yeah, I guess I'll come out of his thoughts. I got what we were looking for.
So coming
there.
out of his thoughts, he is staring, like one big eye, like staring up with his like squid mouth just in a smile as he is standing on a table, staring at like almost fish-eyed, literally squid-eyed into the scrying orb, like looking directly in your eye.
I want to know who has such powers on this train so bad. Y'all ain't seeing this shit.
I don't see anything. You're just, why are you staring over Knott's head? It don't even make sense. It's like Grana is going up to like this point too. Get away from me. You're freaking me the fuck out. I cannot deal with this right now.
I guess I'll come out of it.
Okay, you come out of the
I'll
scry.
come out the scry.
Your vision pulled back. You are now waiting, I'm assuming, at the edge of the next forest for Dareem to finish. And what y'all see in front of you is the doors have finished opening.
I come out of it and I say, Morwen has arrived.
You would recognize this name only because Blur
Squid guy.
showed
Oh,
you
yeah,
a picture
thank
of
you.
everybody and named them all, and you saw them in the scry, everything.
It appears that Noth, Reyna, and now Morwen are, I would say, in like, I would know, like in the middle.
You're
Are-
actually
are-
standing at this point. You can see for like about 5 more forests in front of you in almost like a 3-2. We're talking King's Cup in a 3-2 formation, side stack, right? A stoplight and a 2, and then off to the right, way across the way, more forest hills that way. But in the middle, like you can see it now. You've been there. Is the giant middle forest area, and you can point that out to them.
Okay, so they are that way. I'll point at where it is. They're getting ready for their next phase, which is a feast. And it looked like they had a lot of these fruits. There are gorilla bots? Is that what
They
they
seem
were?
more like golems, less
Gorilla
robots.
golems? Okay. There are gorilla golems that are bringing the fruit to Reyna.
And as he says that, from the next forest over, you see these 3 lumbering things off in the distance start wheeling something down the hill as they leave that forest area.
I don't know what these fruits are for or who's eating them, but they play a big part in the feast.
Jax, what happened with the fruit?
Well, basically, it's like I got this feeling like someone was, I don't know, talking to me kind of. And this guy, like, I don't know, this person, this thing, this voice, said that I'm supposed to eat the fruit and grow big and stronger. Aural Mirror wanted me to. I don't know what that means. It
Aural Mirror.
sounds familiar. It's like something, I don't know.
Morwen, his mission essentially is for, what was it called again?
Arlmere.
Arlmere. His mission is for Arlmere.
Weird. Who's Aural Mirror, I wonder?
Whatever these fruits are, I don't think they're good.
Do you think we should ask him?
The only other things that you would have from this vision are Arlmere, like little details, was that Morwyn seems to be a cleric of a gloom god, and your best guess, Dareem, in your head as you're putting it together is, I guess that's Oralmere, whatever the fuck that means.
Okay.
I know that I just threw a gigantic lore cutscene at you.
Do you mention this kind of stuff to us?
Yeah, I'll mention the Oralmere stuff, definitely.
And is that due information to try another history check with the
History
Gloom
check
God?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the Gloom God and all of that. Yeah.
You fucking little Google searcher.
27.
Fuck! Why can't I roll a 27? This isn't fair!
Classic comedy.
Over the world of Karth. Over your histories and everything that you've known. Wow, I went to my serious voice. Over the world of Karth. In your histories, and as you're searching through what you know about this planet, this realm, not many are called gods, ever. In fact, the only times that such a thing happened were during the God Wars, about 500, 1,000 years ago, somewhere in that range, where a group of monstrous gods fought for domination over the realm of Karth. Beyond that, there's some sort of creator god thing that abandoned the world in the beginning. Whatever the gloom god is, it doesn't ring a bell, and even as you're trying to process through this, you can't... There's not a lot of information about that time. As if it's been erased. As if people don't talk about it. They wanted to, but the wars, everything that happened over the realm, it was hard to keep information going forward. On top of that, you get you yourself in this moment as he's just doing his like shaking bit where his eyes are like thinking, you see the slit open just a little as a wave of energy comes out on his third eye, and you yourself get something very specific about thinking about what these gods things are. There are temples on this planet. There are certain gods and deities or powers that like some people do worship. Some people worship time. Some people worship the thought of actually passing on. Some people worship the ability to give life again. But these like religions that exist on Karth are very few and far between, and they're very sectioned off. But as you think about the God Wars, God, Gloom God, God of the Sunken, the city, you get this impression of 1, 2, of 8, I'm pretty sure, versus 8 of what the God Wars were. The good versus the evil. And the good, there's this vision of an impression, like looking through shadow, looking through stark whiteness, looking through each dimension of energy almost, from red to that dark brown to black to purple to white. And you get these giant, monstrous creatures, long necks, large heads with open jaws as wings unfurl from behind them, and tails as they fight for the survival of all of Karth. There is a kingdom, an underground kingdom. There's some underwater kingdoms. You know, Theria has one. There's an entire underwater section there. You know, people live in full depth. You know that people even have traveled far below the massive chasm of Tox Hollow, in the very bottom left of Karth Free. But you know that in Grand and Thea, off in the Karth Wild, there's a section of Ethium kingdoms first built in these mountains, and one of them has been rumored for hundreds of years to have gone missing. Deep, deep, deep underground. Some sort of void kingdom.
Interesting.
How the fuck did you know all this?
Yeah, Jax literally says
that
all
was
of that.
player, not character. The character probably did it too, but that was all player. He's
just reciting knowledge to you, as if from a school textbook. I see a vision. I see an impression. There's something about gods. There was a god war. Did y'all know there's a god war? There's an impression of them. I can see it.
Good versus evil. Giant-tailed monsters fighting each other for the continuation of Karth.
With giant wings.
Yeah. Giant winged tails.
Jax, how do you know all this?
Well, I guess I just have the answers inside me, you know?
Exactly. Literally. Told you this whole time, Jax.
Yeah. I guess it's just inside me, you know?
Well, as impressive as that is, we have to make a choice. The door is open.
pointing towards the giant door that's open.
Would I have known that Morwen is the one that came through the door?
No. It'd be hard to tell from where you were inside the scry.
Okay.
But as you're thinking about that, you hear this commotion as the park area just starts to rumble. As you hear this cacophony of 1,000 voices of 100, 500, 1,000, as bursting way off in the distance, this dust cloud gets kicked up as this just blob looking like specks on the horizon of gray come bursting through the door in the most horrible straight line you've ever seen as they just come rushing in, and it looks like watching the tide come in from 100 feet away but you hear it, all of it in your heads. This whole area is filled with as running forward, these little brain things off in the distance start pouring in through the gate and into the middle oasis area.
I think those are what's going to be fed.
Oh.
That's clearly not good.
Oh.
What do we do?
Follow the artifact.
I guess I'll check the artifact. Is it still pointing towards that door?
As it points exactly at that door.
All right.
A little, so if it were to be pointing in the middle of this giant door, technically, it would be pointing a little to the upper left, a couple degrees from this point. So like, it's not like from where you're standing on the left side of this wall, it's not pointing at the door, it's pointing through the door, right? To something off beyond.
Okay. Well, I don't know if those doors are going to close, but we need to get through them.
And you can tell that there are more forest areas in front of you that could offer some sort of, there are closer forest areas to the door. There are about 5 more, right? Like going forward that are closer than the one you're currently in.
Well, we can't waste any time then.
And then Ben will crouch down, put his hand on the ground, and he will look back in a intimidating but inviting way towards Jax and Heppen.
Cool. Jax just kind of like giddily gets on his back.
I just hand him the rope.
Yeah, because you're already on the hoverboard.
Alright, and then going to, as quickly as I can without doing the have to stop, run in the direction of the doors.
You want to make it straight to the doors where all the stuff is pouring
The
out
quickest-
of, or like forest to forest?
like forest to forest. The quickest way there, trying not to be seen.
Okay. So we're
And
gonna do
I'll
this.
have like a smaller piece of the rope, so I ain't just flying around everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not trying. You're not gonna parkour it this time.
Nah,
not gonna Tony Hawk. Not this time. Y'all sprint out. I mean, the problem is you're a fucking like literally 6 seconds. Like you can 180 this too, in 6 seconds to get to the next forest area. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
like,
I see what you mean. Yeah,
like
yeah,
you go
yeah.
down,
So
you go up, and you're at the next forest.
Yeah, flavor that as you will, but like that's
the
what
plan.
he's doing. He's going faster to stay in cover, and then when he can be in cover, he's not using maximum speed.
Yeah, so you, like lightning, just gone. Everybody already braced, knowing exactly how to do this. You've done this before. You make the next tree line, and you stop for a second, catching your breath as you walk your way forward through. The forest floor is now picked clean. No fruits around here. No fruits are growing up on top of the trees. The metal tubes seem to be run dry. Nothing is pumping into the trees, as this area has been seemingly cleaned out. As you make your way to the next tree line, you can now get a better vantage on this stream in front of you. And what you see are thousands of little brain buddies, the brain boys, sprinting, doing the Pepe run as fast as they can, crawling over each other, just running forward as one after another. And then out of the doorway, after about 100, a giant floating brain will come out. And from this, the fact that you can see it from this area, from this size, means that thing must be monstrous. And as it floats forward, it's just got tentacles like streamers, just like whipping the little brain boys into position, keeping them in line. As one of those passes, a second comes into view as things are pouring into the middle forest area, one at a time. You take this chance. Nothing's around you. Those are super far off. In fact, I don't know if you could actually see all that, but you know, fucking flavor, and you can. You have magic eyes, and I don't know. You're all doing that. You more or less can grasp. You've fought these things before. That must be going off in the distance. You check the middle forest area where they're all headed into, and you see nothing. No movement around you. And you do it again. You sprint to the next forest area. There are now 3 more to get to the closest wall. And as you come out, cresting over, moving through it to look, the stream has started to rescind. It's thinner now, right? Like the stream of brain things, where like there will be an end to this at some point, as another gigantic brain floats forward. This just mash of dripping liquid and goo down upon the park area itself. And from the middle, you hear a clang. And from the middle of the forest area, that part where they're all going into, a single pillar of earth rises into the air as Graina starts banging on a pan, her voice somehow projected. All right, everybody get in fucking single file line. We're gonna do this one at a time, all right? Y'all gonna eat your stuff for Morrowind. If I see any of you little fucks getting out of line, I will kill you myself. I don't care what your daddy says. This is what we're doing. Come on now. As she, riding on Pillar of Earth, crests out over the forest and starts just ushering people into the forest beside her. Floating next to her, you can see Morrowind, though he says nothing. Both of them, their backs turned to you, looking into this sea of brain things.
How far away are we now from the doors?
From the doors, you still have a couple hundred feet, 500 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I did that right, 400 feet. But you do have 3 more forest areas and walls to cover on the left.
And they're in front of us?
So you've been cresting basically from the left side, going up the left side of the wall here, right? They are, if the wall is running up to your left, they are inward to the west, right? You're on the east wall there, inward toward the west. Now perpendicular to you, like they're not like you're at the. Oh, you've gone to the next one, so they're a little behind you now. You can like see behind that, like you've passed the middle, right? There are like in a zigzag line 3 more forest areas. I'm assuming y'all are just doing the same thing at this point.
Yeah.
You get to the next. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, you get to the next. You get for the next one. Same thing. You stop and you watch as the line pours into the middle forest. Both Graina and Morwen have disappeared back into the trees, and slowly, this line has trickled off as the final section, and like the stragglers are running up the path as the hundreds of these things have disappeared into the forest. And you could see that forest, the trees are now crawling with these little brain things. There is not enough space to fit them all at a table, so they are just like ants over a hill crawling through that forest way off in the distance. You can see the tree swaying back and forth as you hear as one just falls off a tree, jumping from another, this little chaotic bunch, as the big brains, like one rises from the air, grabs a falling brain thing, and then just ushers it back down. You make your way to the last tree line. And now, finally, one final little dude along the road. Running forward, disappears into the forest. The door's still open. You wait. I was counting to fucking 30 here. Nothing else comes out. You hear the sounds as this explosion of energy, just this wave pushes all the trees in the area away from the central point of the middle area. Something in there happened, and you can hear the like thousands of little things feasting.
There's far too many for us to fight.
Yeah.
We should just keep going forward.
I think we should keep going also.
All right. Well, with that confirmation, as fast 180, whatever feet he can go, Van is going to blast his way through.
Yeah, there's probably like a 200 left. So you dash, and you're at the door, and you can see now you're standing on this trampled dirt path that leads straight towards this middle giant forest area off in the distance, right? And you can see that there's just this crusted, muddy, flattened, gooey path in front of you that has been trampled by juices and feet of countless running little creatures. Everybody make just a flat intelligence check for me if they want.
7.
7. Aww.
1,
21.
2, 3. Friends.
Prince.
Van, Dareem, and Heppen, as you turn to go into this monstrous tunnelway and whatever leads forward, Jax stands in the doorway, staring off into the forest, thinking about the train, thinking about all these little brain creatures, thinking about where he knows 3 that he fought came from. And silhouetted there against the daylight, against the darkness of the hallway, you stop for a moment. And Jax, as you watch him, says something along the lines, well, what you think Jax is, that's a lot of brain creatures. There are a lot of missing people on this train. And it kind of hits you.
You kind of just see Jax on Van's, like on the back of Van, kind of his head cocked around, looking there, and you see tears. You just see tears coming down his cheeks. He is just in shock and awe and terror as he's just starting to cry.
What's going on back there?
Just kind of hearing.
Oh, you probably
assume?
feel a little wetness on your shoulder too.
Yeah.
Splashes of tears against the fur.
Jack's just kind of softly just like, all those brains had to come from somewhere. And given the dense population of this train and how we've seen no one else in our time here, those brains had to come from somewhere.
Jax, let's make sure that there are no more brains to be made.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm great. No. Yeah, I'm good.
Come on.
And going to go and enter the gate.
Anything else anyone else wants to do?
I'll ask. Do we know if like the little juices and stuff are like flammable? Like,
I wish.
Like, are they flammable? Like, if I were to like set a line of them on fire, would it then set the other?
What I do
would
know
it connect to it?
is you have specifically firebolted these creatures already, and they did not ignite. You know.
Yeah.
So probably like as much as Sam, the audience member, wants nothing more than y'all to just fucking torch that shit to the ground. Blood is not flammable, right? Like brain matter.
What about like?
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I guess say in my head I'm thinking of starting a forest fire. Would it connect to surround them?
What in your head are you trying to start a forest fire with?
My firebolt.
So with firebolt, how quickly you would need to catch in the dense population of those things in the trees. Personally, I think your calculations are there are probably spells that I could, like, there must be a certain level of power that I could reach someday to where I could set that whole thing on fire right now. There's gotta be. But currently, with your current skill set, you don't even have fireball, right?
No. I do have. Well, I guess I don't have it because I've already created the ballistic. Because the Eldritch Cannon can do a flamethrower, but that's different.
Even
also,
the flamethrower itself, you would blast a tree. You'd have to get up to it. You would blast a tree. You don't know how flammable these trees are, how dead or dry they are. They seem to be filled with metal tubes and juices in the first place.
Right.
What I think is that wish and that desire to stop this and how it sparks in you, this feeling of, fuck, I want to burn that fucking forest to the ground. I think the note I would give is, I think Dareem knows what it is to see a catastrophe of a kingdom fall before him. And yet again, all he can feel is, I will be strong enough one day to make sure this doesn't happen. Currently, at level 4, I don't think you have...
I can't make a forest fire.
Yeah, I don't think you can make a forest fire.
All right.
Not in the way you would need it to be, especially to do it smartly. Because those things, it would take time, I think. And with the power level that you see in front of you, it's...
Okay. Got it.
Now, if you want to go try...
No, I just kind of... I don't know, shake my head and kind of walk through the tunnel.
As y'all still pulled along by Van, I'm going to assume, I totally forgot about that. Jack's on his shoulders. Hepin and Dareem hoverboarding along. You make your way
I guess hover through.
into the tunnel and into the grand unknown. And that is where we will pick up next time.
Woo!
Alrighty.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that may have been, at least whatever the fuck that was just now, the one time I've ever run from an engagement in D&D.
Yeah.
I think I have fought every single other time except just now.
That's there's power in numbers there. I was not trying to fight them.
Yeah.
Had a lot of strong people around, and they had those little brain things too.
We're
no
good.
thanks.
We're not that good, you know?
We're not
God,
that
I wish I
busted.
were level 20. I want to know what would happen.
That would be a
it'd
whole
be utter
different
chaos,
fucking
man.
story. Yeah.
Also, considering how many legendary items you've given us now, like, can you imagine by the time we get to level 20 how many we'd have?
Oh, don't worry. The nerfs are coming.
Honestly,
just kidding.
it's cool if you're like, you have this item, and we don't get any other items because the items you've given us are already
pretty
so
good.
good, you know?
If I didn't freaking use my web prematurely, I'd have been a little bit more confident going into this.
You did shoot a giant load web a little prematurely.
I honestly thought that it was gonna be a small little Spider-Man.
You gotta read that spell, buddy, because it says 20-foot cube, and your cloak says it's double.
Yeah.
If there was any part of this I'd love to see animated, it is watching Doreen just fucking spider sploosh all over a single kitty witch.
Hey, you know when something's
Just out of
going
nowhere. It's because of how
at you.
abruptly it happens.
Hey man.
Like, rah, psh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next time.
Y'all need a long
Setting up
rest.
some shit there. Now we got a brain army? Okay.
Yeah, great fucking job. You can obviously stop all.
Babe, wait, babe.
I can't see
Bep, bep.
Jack.
Bep, bep, bep. Okay, is that good?
I think so, yeah.